Yeah, it's in
We
the
walk
project.
the footsteps of our fathers, the trail blazed by our mothers. They bought the land with their blood long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and audiobooks, oh my. Oh, sing of my Netherem. Oh, weep for the blood of Ammon. Oh, cry for my Netherem. Long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and audiobooks, oh my. Sing of my Netherem. Oh, weep for the blood of Ammon. Oh, cry for my Netherem. Long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and audiobooks, oh my. Sing of my Netherem. Oh, weep for the blood of Ammon. Oh, cry for my Netherem. Long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and audiobooks, oh my.
The wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Legend fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten, when the age that gave it birth comes again. This is Aiel, Ogiers, and Audiobooks, episode 20. Thank you so much for joining. We are back for another great episode. And here we are.
Yay. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Slightly afternoon. Thanks for joining. Good to see you, Annie, Lou, and Pineapple. I was just going over my notes, and regarding the thing we were just talking about,
Gay porn.
I hope everybody's doing. Let me get into intro. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're not all under a foot of snow like I am. It's literally been
it's quite a lot over there.
Yeah, I know you're experiencing it too, being here in the Midwest U.S. Lou's in Florida, so it's all blowing right past him.
But it's still
Mr.
cold.
Pineapple's about the same latitude, so the temperature is about the same. I don't know how about the snowfall over there, but
Oh, it's so bad. We've got like the heating on. You know, I wore gloves the other day when I went outside. It's pretty nippy. Yeah, it's pretty cold over here.
put gloves on the top of your plumage up there.
Yeah, I had a little hat on as well. Yeah, I had a Chicago Bulls woolly hat on. Yep.
Chicago Balls.
I love that you call them woolly hats.
Mm-hmm.
I love the woolly hat. You guys got much more fun names for certain things. Sorry. All
I
right.
find it
Let me
about
get.
12 to 14 inches there in Vermont, I want to say. But it's fluffy snow, so easy
Yes,
to
it's Vermont.
clear.
There's a layer of ice under the snow here. It's very dangerous. So be careful if you're experiencing that kind of thing.
You guys can keep it. I don't want it.
I
don't miss it.
age. I do not care. That being said, stretch it out. Just woke up like our boy Rand did. Chapter 6 is Dark Prophecy. I think it's weirdly titled because kind of only see it and not hear it. But okay. We are with Rand in his perspective. He is trying to escape from somewhere. He feels that he's being, watched and chased. Matt is with him. And I don't remember the exact dialogue because this was the first chapter that I listened to. It was like yesterday. But Matt and Perrin are both there, and it turns out Rand is kind of having a nightmarish dream. I was very confused when I first started listening to this, which I'll talk to you guys in a second about that.
I was too.
Matt is upset because he's worried that they can't run away and they're not going to be able to escape. And Rand then notices that the ruby-hilted dagger is sticking out of Matt's chest, and Perrin is flipping out, and he's like, "Oh, it's over, Rand. It's all over, and it'll be okay." And it turns out that Perrin has torn out his eyes from his face and is holding them in his hand to Rand's eye. It's ended. We'll be fine now. So immediately we know he's kind of in a nightmarish situation. Then Paran Fain shows up, and basically saying what he said at the end of last chapter, where he was taunting him. It's never over, Althor. And then on top of that, a door explodes open and splinters go flying out everywhere. And then Beelzemon himself comes in again with 2 red sisters flanking him on either side. It's never over, Althor. And so now Fain and Beelzemon are sharing the same voice. Like, this is clearly a different dream. It's not like the other ones where he was being taunted by the Dark One. But then he wakes up. So real quick, jumping back into the book right at this chapter, I was confused as all hell. I literally went and checked to make sure that I was giving you guys the correct chapter.
I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I started listening to it and I was like, okay, I know it's been a week, but hold on. Let me listen to the end of the last chapter real quick. Let me listen to the last four minutes real quick.
It happens every time.
It doesn't happen to me every time. Like, usually I'll get like that little bit of confusion
where something goes weird, and I'm like, right, did I miss a chapter? Did I like misjudge? And I was
the other times though, I just like left it go, and I'm just like, whatever. Hold on, it'll make sense in a minute. This time I was just really confused. I'm like, no, hold on a second. Did I?
When Matt had the dagger in his chest, I was like, okay, it's a dream. Like, it was pretty early on that they told us. I swear there was one where he was like going through a little adventure for like a bit, and then it was like, oh, and now it's a dream, and you're, okay, all right, fair enough.
Yes. Specifically, he was like walking through the town in that one dream. He was just like kind of casually walking. Yes. It was even less than this, but
you guys didn't start with chapter 7.
Which will also confuse you, because you're like, well, what the hell happened between 5 and 7? Like, there is a bit that happens here.
I had to go back and look at what's the chapters again? 6. Oh, it's 6, 7, and 8. I knew I was off by 1.
Just to make it clear for everyone, Annie made it really easy. She literally put the outright chapters in Discord for us.
Yeah, but then conversations happen, and life happens.
Still missed it.
I ain't gonna keep scrolling back up.
I know, right? It's too difficult to scroll to the top of the list.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
So yes, it is very clear. It is a nightmare.
Fine, I'll post a Monday night next time.
That'll work.
Way too late. I need them on a day when not on a day that is starting. Jesus, especially when they're like an hour long. God.
If you do want me to post them, I will though. Not a big deal. Or actually, Annie will, because pro material. So yes, Rand is having that nightmare. Matt has the dagger in his chest because it's dangerous to him. Perrin is pulling his eyes out because he has, stressful thoughts about being a wolfman. And then he's taunted again by the 2 people that have been taunting him, Fain or the people that he is worried about. This is more of an internal dream. He's worried about the Red Sisters gentling him. He's worried about Beelzemon and Fain being like supreme evil. But he wakes up and it's nighttime. So apparently after Egwene snuck him into her bedroom, he just passed out on the floor on a pallet. And Nynaeve is sitting there knitting, watching over him as he wakes up. It's brought to our attention from Rand's perspective that the women's rooms are a number of times cozier. There's tapestries on the walls. He's like, man, these are way nicer than the dudes' apartments.
Just like the women's bathrooms.
Yeah, right, exactly. They're just nicer. And Nynaeve is mildly upset with Rand because, he is where he is hiding, and he tries to explain. But Rand also knows that they didn't ask Moraine to do what they're doing. Like, he calls Nynaeve on her bluff because she's downstairs visiting Fane, apparently. And she's Nynaeve is very uneasy around him still because she knows who he is, what he is, and, is kind of coping with it. There is a nice little conversation that Nynaeve and Rand have here. He calls her pretty. Like, he notices how good looking she is, and he feels like a fool saying it, but so he tries to move on.
Well, I think it's nice of Rand to take a moment to realize that, because I don't think he's ever really thought of Nynaeve that way or looked at her. He's heard people say that, and he's like, yeah, but she's so I don't really see her that way. She's the wisdom.
But that,
yes.
So to your point, that's the look in the Two Rivers. I believe here her hair is straight and not braided, so it's a different look that he's seeing. And then they're also wearing different clothing, so they're in much more elegant clothing. So it brings out a different beauty in Rand's eyes.
And that is a good point that I would like to also elaborate on. Robert Jordan makes a very good, detailed description of what everybody's wearing almost all the time. You get a very detailed, clear picture of who's doing what, and how they're, and like Annie mentioned, it's nice to see that the other characters notice it. It's not just being told to us, but it's being brought to our attention as well, which other things will happen later. Yes, Moraine doesn't know that Nynaeve and Egwene are visiting, or at least Nynaeve is letting Egwene visit Fane because Nynaeve is a wisdom and is training Egwene to be a wisdom, and so she thinks that Egwene is trying to help Fane not be a dark friend. And Rand totally calls her bluff on that. Well, you're just letting her do it because you're letting her do it. Yeah, well, I am. So what? Moraine doesn't need to know everything we do. It's just another one of those jabs because there's a Nynaeve Moraine competition going on.
Oh boy, is there.
But so she leaves the apartment, and as she leaves, she notices that there's too many women around, apparently. They're all kind of scurrying, and they should be doing things in preparation for the Armelin Seat's big deal. And she notices that, she surmises that they're looking for something, they're out searching around, so we're being told that. Ekul, I see you grinning. Any thoughts on too many women's being around?
Well, yeah, firstly, that's always an issue. But mainly with this, I find it, I don't know if it's endearing for Rand, but he kind of shows, even though he's trying to not be this child anymore, this man child, where he's kind of oh, Nynaeve's actually I can appreciate her for who she is, and she's actually a good looking woman, blah, blah, blah. But then when Nynaeve's a bit sus, all these people kind of hanging around, why are they kind of in here for too long? That doesn't make sense. He's nah, if you're going to send a spy, they've got a ninja costume on, and they're sneaking around doors. They're not just normal working people. And it's yeah, no, Rand, prepare to get schooled very well in that matter, because that's literally who they are. We all know from Game of Thrones as well. That's who you least expect.
They're definitely shifty, conniving little manipulators. I'm sorry, I did you back. And not only does she notice that they're all looking for something, she notices that the lady Amelisa is obsessively also looking for something. She looks a little out of sorts. I think her hair was a little bit messed up. I don't know if there's dirt on her face, but last chapter Leandrin, the one red sister, did kind of influence her to do this, and so we know why all these women are running around looking for Rand specifically at this point. Rand discusses his plans with Nynaeve that he's going to go. And Nynaeve spits back the same thing. It's yeah, you can try and go, but guess what? I don't think the pattern's really done with you yet. And this is coming from Nynaeve, who doesn't like to spout Moraine-ish type of idioms. And so
even she is telling him, Rand, you're too important to just disappear. Even if you disappear, you're going to drag everything to wherever you go.
Am I the only one who thought Rand was a little bitch in this chapter?
You mean always?
No, young No, Young Old Vibes would be right here commiserating with you for sure. She does not like Rand,
my
and this is
God.
peak shirking responsibility.
Every other fucking minute, it felt like, oh my God, they're trying to gentle me. Like, Rand, shut the fuck up.
Right, Lou, you got to understand. He's essentially a serial killer in a hotel full of detectives at a convention where they go and find serial killers. And you're like, oh, why is he so worried about getting killed by all these people? It's like, well, because he's worried about being killed by all these people. So it's perfectly rational. It's actually good
Hey, look,
that he
man.
is worried about that.
Dexter Morgan was a fucking serial killer working in a police station, getting away with shit. Rand can chill out for an hour.
He wanted to be there. Yes, Lou. He wanted to be there. Rand does not want to be here.
No, he wants to be a million miles away.
You know what? I'm sorry. If Rand really wanted to be a million miles away, he should have just fucking left.
Yeah,
It's
you
like
know
he's
what Rand would have done?
procrastinating that point.
He would have tried to go through the
True.
dog tunnel. He would have tried to go. Oh wait, that's last week.
Rand clearly didn't want to leave. He doesn't want anything. Rand just wants to go home and hang out with his dad.
That's what he wants.
He is
and,
God damn it, Annie. Don't say it like that. He is my dad. He's my real dad.
oh, again with that too. We get a lot of that again here coming up. Not just, I think the end of this chapter and then next chapter too. So that's petulant Rand. Well, Nynaeve telling me that the pattern still needs me. No, it doesn't need me because guess what? Shaitan is dead. Oh, don't say that name. And Annie, I think that was you that asked, does that actually have influence? What do you think here? Now we know. Rand says the name Shaitan and gets dizzy and he feels a lurch and the world kind of shakes around him. Nynaeve sees it happen. I don't necessarily think she feels it either, but that was another moment that was kind of like, what? Whoa, shit, yeah. So what'd you think about that? Ish.
I don't know. I don't know specifically. Like it's leading more evidence to it, but since we already know Rand kind of has a one-on-one connection with the Dark One, that it's possible that that's the reason why. It's because it's a little bit more closely tied to him. It probably would have done something to Nynaeve, or she probably would have felt it instead of just seeing and noticing it. If it was more of a global thing. So I don't know. I don't have enough evidence, but it seems like it's more in the favor of if you say it, there's just like the Eye of Sauron's like, who said something?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't
But in
exactly know
Rand's case-
exactly where you are, but it's like, keep saying it. I'm going to find you real quick.
Lou or Ekul, you got any opinions on the naming of the Dark One and bringing his attention upon you? Of course, like you just mentioned with Sauron, Annie, very similar to that. I think that was a superstition of us back in the day. Boys.
Did you say you don't believe in it?
I didn't believe in it. It's like fucking you go into the bathroom and you call out for Candyman fucking 3 times, turning off your light on and off.
I was
No.
literally thinking, I wonder if they do that in the Two Rivers as like kids, like they go, right, I dare you, I double dare you, say it. No. But
Right.
I think it's further proof that Rand is obviously wrong. Yeah, also we know we're book 2 out of 14 or whatever it is. So we're like, okay, yeah, I assume he didn't kill the big bad guy immediately. And the rest of the books is just like hanging around describing how pretty Nynaeve looks. So yeah, I think maybe this is the bit where he realizes it as well, potentially. Where he's like,
Yes,
okay.
because yeah, no, because Nynaeve responds in kind. Oh yeah, because he's like he's dead, and he is. He's like, just like with Tam's my father, he's dead. Like he keeps saying it to himself. Like, who are you convincing? Yourself or everybody else around you?
Yeah, he's so stupid. Maybe he hurt or killed a Doom clone, but there's no way he even scratched the surface of Doom.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. But that does, at the same moment, coincidentally, are there coincidences? The alarms start to sound, or at least we hear the alarm bells going off.
Oh.
And they suss it out. They're like, because immediately Rand is self-centered. They're looking for me. Well, why would they be ringing the bells if they're looking for you? That would just alert you to, them looking for you, dummy. Well, if it ain't for me, then who is it? So they're like, uh-oh, there is an attack. And immediately Rand panics. Oh, Egwene's downstairs with Thane. Holy shit. So he takes off out of the women's apartments and causes a mass hysteria because they see a dude with a sword. It is very much told to us that he should not even be anywhere near the women's apartments, let alone wielding a weapon. He's basically a guy in a woman's locker room, essentially, like for modern
With
day
his sword out.
comparison. With his sword out, yes, of course. Very threatening. Ladies better watch out. Also, this scene right here does lead to a funny thing later on that I think, and I will tie it back to that, hopefully, if I remember later. And Aes Sedai noticed him also in there too, exactly what he didn't want. Not only, so he's running through the women's apartment, not only doesn't Aes Sedai notice him, he turns around and I almost said the F word again, he's face to face with Swan Sanche, the Armelin seat, staring dead at him, looking right back at him. And the keeper's there, and she kind of puts her way in front of him, like, what are you doing? Like, they're all like, ugh. Everybody's like all wide-eyed and shocked. But Rand, kind of
lucky we didn't panic.
Yeah, exactly. It turns out there are Trollocs inside the keep. Oh no, 3 of them. Because Rand kind of runs away and he turns a corner. As soon as he turns the corner,
Trolloc in the dungeon.
Yes, exactly.
Just for George to know.
So as Rand tries to defend himself against these Trollocs, it's given to us that he tries, I think it's Heron waiting in the rushes or something like that. And it's exactly poor form. And he knows it's bad form. And it's pointed out to us that Land would have just turned and walked away. You fucking sheep herder. And just stalked off and be like, well, what did I even teach you?
I like that,
but
that made me laugh a little bit because he was like, and then the Trolloc just like knocked it aside, and it's like, oh, it's like all this training, I could become a swordmaster. Trolloc's like, nope, next.
Yep, yeah, basically just like put the kibosh. Again, everybody's got a plan until you get punched, and then things change really quick. But Rand does make his way past these 3 Trollocs because 6 Shienaran soldiers show up just in the nick of time to help him out. And so he moves on to continue to find Egwene. And then, a Fade shows up. He's like about to face this Fade who has already killed 7 people. They're on the ground dead. And it turns and it comes for Rand. And Rand is extremely nervous. He feels the fear on him. And our boy Ingtar shows up to help him out. I'll handle this Fade, Rand al'Thor. Don't you worry. You go find yourself some Trollocs to deal with. I'll handle this Fade. And he just came from dealing with Trollocs. Didn't happen. And Ingtar is like,
everyone gives Rand shit. Yeah, like you guys are like, he's blah blah, he's blah blah. I was so proud of him in this thing because he had a little dilemma where he's like, I know I can't fight this Fade. I know I should help though. I know like I could be some help. And he's like, he doesn't want to take the easy way out, and I think that's great for, even though it's fully justified. It's like, well, come on, man. Like, how many Trollocs you killed? 1 by accident. Cool. Okay. So far, so good, man. So I think Rand deserves a little bit of credit. Yeah, he could put himself in front of the blade. The blade gets stuck in Rand's body as he's dying. Ingtar gets a shot on. It'd be very helpful.
Okay, if you want to go that route, sure. But let's be honest, he's no help. He literally stumbled to go up against a Trolloc. Like, yes, you're training, but again, until you're put into the heat of battle, that training does you no good if you can't control your fear. And he hasn't learned to control his fear.
No, I disagree. He did really well against that Fade because, as it's been pointed out, it's incredibly hard to kind of not just wet yourself when face to face a Fade. And he was confronting the Fade like enough that he wasn't running away, and he offered to stay even when he had a decent out. So he deserves credit for that. But what you got to remember, Lou, so you've got like kids or had kids or like grandkids and all that stuff. It's like when they're like, oh, I'll help you with that, granddad. And you're like, thanks, that's super sweet. That is really nice of you. but no. But thank you. So that's what Ingtar's doing. He's like, you're good. You go with your Play-Doh. I'll sort this out. It's like, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
That's
I'll
exactly
give
where
you
my
that
notes
one.
are leading. That's exactly where my notes are leading. I am a bit proud of Rand myself because he looks at Ingtar and he's like, "We'll face it together." And then, no, Rand Althor, go save your lady. Like he literally says,
Oh.
"That's your woman."
I like this
downstairs.
is
Go
just an
help her
anime
out."
moment. The
Yeah,
merger all
100%.
just standing there like,
And they're
Okay,
having
So we're gonna
full
fight me or
on-
what?
I would
which
have
one am I
preferred.
swinging at? Okay, all right,
And-
are we good? All right, cool. Let's
I
go.
know- I know this is out of character for the book, but I would have loved it if like Ingtar kind of like laughed a little or smirked a bit. He's like, no, it's fine. Okay, go ahead. You're
Right.
fine. And it's like Rand's like, oh, it gets all embarrassed and shit. He's all right, well, whatever. Good luck. Don't die. But yeah.
Well, Rand does get embarrassed. He does. I feel like a coward for leaving, but yeah, I agree. Ingtar's like, "Go save your lady, Rand Althor." He's being 100% serious, taking Rand 100% serious, showing him respect. It would have been nice to be like, well, he does kind of in a way, doesn't he, Ekul? Though he's like, "Go find yourself a Trolloc, you'll be fine." You know, like, he just,
and
go
that,
away a little bit.
that is kind of like banter, right, between guys. I think that was quite kind of like in the moment where it's a very serious moment and whatever. And he's just like, "I'm gonna be fine. It's fine. Like, go test yourself on, go play with the
Right.
kids for a bit whilst the daddy sorts out the actual issue." So yeah, I quite enjoyed this bit. I got like goosebumps in this bit. I really, really loved it. I thought it was great.
This isn't the only time somebody's jumped in front of a merge roll for Rand too. Lan's done it, Tom did it, and now Ishtar or Ingtar. So
God damn,
Yes.
when's your boy gonna finally get the chance to face one?
when he grows some balls,
sure he
I
does.
guess.
Exactly. His balls haven't dropped yet.
No, they haven't. They shrunk up, and he ran away down to the dungeons to go save his lady Egwene. As he gets to the dungeons, the door is off the hinges. He knows that the dungeons are now been broken into, and that definitely. Oh shit! Here we go. He enters into that first. This is where I get confused with the book sometimes. Like in my head, I have like spatial problems. So I imagine he's walking into like this big entrance room, and then there's like the rows of dungeons. Like you can go to the left or to the right, down the center, and different paths lead to different rows of dungeons. Anywho, we get the first bit of gore, other that's not Trolloc related. There are a couple of heads just kind of sitting there on the table. Yay! They've been decapitated. The guards have been chopped up and eaten a little bit. There's like a lot of aftermath of these two guards that were there. Rand makes a point to say, "Oh, at least it wasn't Jangu, the guy that was screwing with me." Because if he would have had known the guards, it would probably have been a little even worse for him. Because I think he gets sick here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he throws up like a bitch.
And he doesn't want to
So
see even a
unfair.
guy he doesn't like.
So
Yeah.
unfair.
So I have
Rand-
this question for you guys. Who do you think? Like, I have my suspicion, but who do you guys feel caused this ruckus? Because we know it's not the Trollocs who have done it. It had to have been someone else. So I have my suspicion. I won't say just yet because we haven't gotten just there yet, but there was help. The question is,
Well-
who do you think?
Well, let me defer to Annie. What was it? How was it painted to you? Because you don't know. You don't have any future sight on this. What do you think happened here at the dungeon? Like who broke in and
Specifically, I don't know. But I believe that there is a couple of turncoats within the walls before this incident started. One of them being the red coat from the end of the last chapter, and I think coming up.
Okay.
Okay.
But really, it seems more like it's not like a specific gear. It's painted pretty much that it's just a Trolloc raid, and later on, because there's some graffiti on the walls that's written in plain English that says "We'll meet again. It's never over." And they're going to meet again on Tomon Head. Like,
Sure, but
and
that
it has
seems like
Rand's
Thane's
name.
writing.
right. So that's That's what I think was going on there, was him writing that out. Later on, when Varen and her notes, we'll get into that.
So
But
I would say, if I'm
go
okay to say as well, I would think with regards to this, it's Dark Friends sent in to give an entry to break out Padam Fane. That's it.
That's
That
basically
would
it. Okay,
be
good.
the entire thing. So is it anyone specific? Probably not. The highest ranking are probably the Fades, or
That's my
Fade,
opinion as
however
well.
many there were. Yeah. So that they were sent in to get him out. That's it. I think we
Yeah,
do
I don't
get
think
more
they
information later on, so I don't want to give too much of a spoiler. But from what we know, that would be a reasonable assumption. I think.
Right.
Just thinking about it, it makes so it could be two people from the prologue, because remember there was someone in the prologue that's from the borderland, and there was also someone who was known as the Black Aja, which I won't reveal because that's spoilery. So, but thinking back now to the prologue, it makes this chapter seem so much better in that aspect.
I think
really
Bors
like that you're
was
making the
sent
connection.
somewhere else, though. Was Bors not sent somewhere else?
I think
Sperg?
so.
Like he specifically has to go somewhere else, so it's not Bors. So I don't think it's that. But you're absolutely right. It's probably one of those, maybe many of those people in that room are given those instructions, including, like you say, I think there's a few Black Aja in there, including a few of them. So yeah, you're probably spot on.
RAFO is read and find out. And I did make this joke a lot early on, like Blinded Pool, especially to Annie, because there was a bunch of questions that immediately pop up in that first book. Is this going this way? Is this going that way? Well, we'll read and find out, especially, and it makes me smile every time Annie finds Tam to be one of the attachable characters early on. Good choice, in my opinion.
Remember, Light Blinded, we're doing 3 chapters a week, so we can't keep going.
I know.
Well, we can, just
so
3 chapters at a time.
Just you gotta be careful. So Rand is mentioned by name in the graffiti, and immediately he picks up some hay off the ground and starts scratching it out because he doesn't want anyone to even
Docs,
be anywhere.
get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. He's just, I don't even, And immediately a red sister walks in. Oh shit, what are you doing? Touch nothing, Rand al'Thor. She doesn't know it's Rand. I'm just saying that because I like saying his name. But she's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Don't touch anything. Leave the crime scene alone. Kind of correct to say, but also
you kind of half expect Rand to be like, right, quick, make up a lie. I'm a dark friend. No, wrong, bad lie. Maybe not anything but that one, I guess. Damn.
I mean, all Rand had to say was, I already tainted the scene. You didn't see my vomit right over there?
Yeah, right. No kidding. I know. So she does. She asks her, why are you here? And he's like, oh shit, Egwene. And he turns to go continue to look for Egwene. He could give a F less about a sister being there, let alone a red one that he's been, like Lou mentioned, panicking about being gentled by. So now all of a sudden he's not scared. But she traps him. She wraps him up in air. It isn't explicitly told to us. I just happen to know that. I'm filling in the gap for you guys. And starts questioning him. And as she's questioning him, she's pinpricking him with needles and such, like, using the power. She's hurting him with it. And
was it hurting him?
It seems like it. It seems like she's like force gripping him.
Like, I get the force grip, but he was also like I felt he was unfazed because he's like naive.
He used the word needles.
Yeah, I remember the needles.
What happens is with it, he's saying how it hurts, and then I believe he summons the void or whatever it's called.
That's where we're going.
And then void. he's like, well, fuck you. It doesn't even hurt now, bitch, kind of thing. So yes, it's like we're very clear that she's hurting him because he does something to stop feeling the pain, essentially, to not let her win.
I'm sorry. OG Mumbling Nick has a quick question before I move on, but yes, I will get back into that. Serious question, is this the same book? Or are you guys onto a different book? This thing is longer than It and The Stand, if it's still the first book. No, we are into the second book. We are on chapters 6, 7, and 8. Yes, 6, 7, and 8. I had to check my own.
And I also don't think that's true. If we were reading at that pace of that book, we would only be like maybe a third through it. Maybe. That's a very long book. Although the chapters are long.
Idiot.
The chapters are long per. I don't know. I guess that's a good question.
Someone
Right.
block Nick in the chat. Good point, Annie.
Yep, banned. So yes, like Ekul just mentioned and Annie just mentioned, Rand is being hurt. He comes to the determination that she is trying to kill him. He seeks the flame in the void. And while he's in this meditative state, he feels warmth off in the distance, a warm light. He can feel it on him. And he starts reaching for it. And as he's
By the
reaching
light.
for it, yes, by the light. Annie, were you going to make a comment? I'm sorry. Oh, coffee time. And as he's reaching for the light, just before he embraces this warmth that is going to make him feel less pain, apparently, at least in his mind, a second sister shows up. What are you doing? And it turns out, thank goodness for Rand, it's Moraine. And she confronts Leandrin, who we find out. What are you doing, Leandrin? Why are you here? What is this going on? And immediately she drops Rand. Oh, go ahead, Ekul, yes.
No, it's fine. I was going to ask Annie, with regards to what Aes Sedai can and can't do, are there any limitations that you can remember we've been told at this point? Because obviously we get told more as it goes on. And I assume once we're in the White Tower, we
Impossible
probably
stuff?
get told everything. Okay, so nothing in terms. Okay, that's fine. Cool. So there are certain limitations that we get taught because they're going to become Aes Sedai, like Nynaeve and Egwene. Yeah, like that's the whole point why they're going to White Tower, to learn to channel and all that stuff. So it's not a massive spoiler, I guess. There are certain limitations. I just wondered if we've already been told them at this point or not. By
I thought that
other
was just.
people.
I don't know. I don't think maybe, but it
Okay.
just seems kind of obvious
No,
that
that's
they
fine.
just can't like. As far as I can tell, it doesn't seem like Moraine could just spawn a castle.
No, that's fine. Yeah, it's not what I meant, but that's fine. You would have said something if we've already been told it, so that's fine. That's cool. So far, we don't have any limitations on them, I guess. So that's cool.
No. The only thing that they keep mentioning in repetition is that in Aes Sedai, her truth isn't the truth you always expect it to be. So
Sure.
it's kind of
Yeah.
implied that they're not allowed to lie or something,
Mm.
or that they're deceptive in a specific way, but not
This
why.
is this coming or right around here is the first time they definitively mention that they never lie.
Sure. Okay. Cool. Okay,
Right.
thank you.
I do remember that
Not-
coming up.
It still hasn't been told that they can't. They just never do.
Cool.
Right.
They bend the
And
truth
why
to
you
their
don't know
will.
why they never do. So there is a nice confrontation here, back and forth. Why are you here, Moraine? Well, why are you here, you dumb cunt? You know, you shouldn't be here either.
Damn.
And well, no, because Moraine's pissed. She's like, "What are you doing?" And Moraine is smarter than Brand at this point, because not only are they both sisters, but we're told later on, you can come back, you can put it together. They can see each other. You know, they know. Like, Moraine knows that somebody's channeling right around the corner, and she turns and sees that it's a sister holding Rand. It's a red sister holding Rand, and Moraine has knowledge of what Rand really is. So it's like, oh, you know, like, what's going on here, huh? So I do commend her for, like, what's going on? Why are you even down here? You know what I mean?
But I also take it that Moraine is smarter than Leanne.
Yes. I don't think it's outright stated, but we're putting the pieces together on who Leandrin kind of really, what she's really doing down there.
Doesn't seem like she's a nice woman, I would say. That
Not
much,
at all.
least.
Oh no. Her
Here's
counterpart on the
another
show channeled her well.
Yeah, I wanted to punch her right in the face.
You too?
I-
I couldn't. Oh man,
that's
she had,
interesting.
she had it. She had it. I was like, well, I would smack the
mainly
shit
just-
out this bitch.
Mainly just because she was a woman, but yeah, her character wasn't very nice as well. But yeah.
I know that, and specifically the Red Sisters, and we'll get back to one that I know in this book that I feel the same way about. You just want to fucking choke her. But that's so far down the line too. Ooh. We met her already too. It was the Red Aes Sedai that was the counselor to Queen Morgaze, a wide out boy.
Oh, that bitch too. Oh, fuck that hoe.
Real quick before moving on, because now that the confrontation between those two sisters is over, Rand's kind of free. He got so close to embracing that light and warmth, but it went away because he wasn't being killed anymore. We get a nice little death tour, in my opinion. Very reminiscent of sort of like I mentioned, I think Hannibal. Like when Jodie Foster's walking down the dungeon and like all these like crazy inmates are there. This is where we get that kind of scene. Really, one guy hung himself, could have stood up, but didn't. He just literally killed himself for no other reason than to do it. And the other guy is trying to claw his way out of a stone cell, literally like.
Hey, boredom will do a lot to you.
Whoa. What will do
boredom will do a lot to you.
Oh, yeah.
Boredom.
I don't think it was boredom. I think it was overstimulation, in fact.
I think we're all forgetting something here. They all had to listen to Egwene for at least an hour a day talking. So I think it's perfectly reasonable. One of them
the conversation between
and
her
oh
and
my
Fane.
God, Eggy, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Someone pass me that rope.
No one wants
we don't
to
need to
hear
hear
you talk
about your
about the
father and
two
his
fucking
inn.
rivers again.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares about your inn, Egwene.
We're not a bunch of woman haters. It's just if you've seen the show, granted Sperg hasn't. Me and Pineapple have. The character he's referring to, she's a great actress, but her portrayal of that said person was just like you just want to choke her too.
Egwene is very headstrong in the books, except for right now. Speaking of, she got hit in the head, and she's laying on the floor. And Annie made a joke earlier about them being a boneless blob on the floor. And the picture you posted was of a horse that's, yes, it's boneless, but it's also fleshless too. There are jelly blobs on the floor. They still have some depth to them. They're not just a pile.
To share that picture.
Yeah, look at that horse, poor horse.
Well, when I logged into the Discord and saw that, I was like, at first I thought it was a boneless cow because of the color.
Right, it does. It has splotches like a cow, and it looks like it was flattened by a steamroller. Just to give everybody in chat the idea, it was literally a flattened to a sheet of paper. Yeah, very gross. But Matt and Egwene still got they might be boneless now, but they still got their muscles and flesh, so they're not totally
but that's your boy painting that picture. Your boy Robert painted the picture. They were boneless on the floor.
Exactly. That's why he said that they were unconscious, lifeless, boneless on the floor, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So like this horse, gotcha.
But it turns out they're unlike the horse. They're still breathing. There's faint breaths.
How about a rug on the floor? They're like rugs.
A bear rug.
A lot less disturbing. Yeah.
That's exactly what the horse is, except it's an entire horse instead of just the horse's back.
Well, and this whole chapter has been
Oh,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, the main issue with this is that Annie read that and she went, that reminds me of a picture of a horse that has no bones. She didn't go, I wonder if I could find something that has no bones. She goes, oh no,
you had that in your
I found that picture because I know that picture. I was like, this is how
exactly. That's what's even more disturbing, right? You knew that horse picture.
I feel sorry for whoever showed you that picture to begin with.
Memes?
Yeah, I know. Internet. It's all there.
It's often used in reference to beating a dead horse and how that is the ultimate beating of a dead horse, where it's literally just a pile of skin on the floor.
Where it's been skinned.
Alrighty then.
It has hooves. So our two horses on the floor who are boneless and skinless, or no, they still have their skin. But again, this is a bit of a morbid chapter. So, that morbid description does fit with the tone of how we're being narrated.
Yeah.
So Rand is there, and then Moraine is kind of taking in the situation, like looking in at the details. And as she's doing that, Leandrin tries to get to Egwene and Matt first. For suspicious reasons. We know why as the reader a bit, or we can at least try to surmise that. But as Leandrin's making her approach, Moraine cuts her off, zoops past and gets down. and starts delving on Egwene to see what's wrong. And
It's just a head injury.
right, Moraine has a head injury. Egwene has a head
Mainly
injury.
Egwene has it, yeah.
Thank you.
Mm.
And Moraine heals the head injury. She just needs a nap. She's unconscious. She'll be fine by morning. It wasn't too bad. She just took a nice shot to the left side of her head. Matt, on the other hand, is also knocked out, but the dagger that he has been linked to is now missing. Oh no! Who stole the dagger? We kind of can guess that,
Blue the god.
right. And also, not only is the dagger gone, but Fane is gone as well. That's the only cell that was opened, and the person was left. Leandrin is accusatory of Rand, saying he was here first. He was in the other room doing some shit. What were you doing? Trying to scrub that guy? It was filth. Like, Rand's excuse for why he was trying to wipe the graffiti off is hilarious. It was just filthy filth. You can't read that. It was, you shouldn't be reading those nasty words. I wouldn't say them, let alone let somebody read them. Boxed.
I think for an Aes Sedai to hear that from like a normie though, like from like a country bumpkin, she'd just like roll her eyes and be like, God, these guys are like so sensitive. I think that's pretty good, because what else is he going to say? Well, I just wanted to clean up a little bit before people got here. It's like, no, you can't say that. Oh shit, all right. Probably the best answer.
Yo, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Chewing your own tongue off so you don't have to talk. I've only seen that once in the show.
Those were also good descriptions. Like, you got good. When he wants to write dark stuff, he can really kind of start painting that picture. I enjoy it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got the one guy who only had nubs left from trying to get out the cell. Damn.
And the guy that hung himself just did it just to do it. Like, he could stand at any time. Like, it just one line just paints the rest of that whole image. Like, oh, geez, like kind of crazy. So as the Red Sister is being accusatory of Rand and, hiding evidence and such, Ingtar, our boy, shows up. Yay!
So we know he won his fight.
Right.
Rand's such a dickhead as well. He's like, oh, Ingtar, the guy who literally just kind of like risked his life for me. So did you at least kill the Fade? And he's like, all right, Rand, right, give me a sec, man. It's been a hard day. It's like what? Didn't you even kill the Fade? No, I didn't. Thanks, yeah. Everyone listening, I didn't kill the Fade. Thanks,
he ran away.
Yeah. Jesus.
So just before that, so Ingtar shows up with his group of soldiers. Moraine starts dictating orders right away. Take Egwene to a room, and take Matt straight to the Armelin Seat's room, and then
to the Armelin Seat.
Yes, Leandrin gets all why? What? Who do you think you are doing all of this? I already spoke to her about it. This is more a thing that you don't even need to know about, Leandrin. Bitch, fuck off. But so they do. They leave together, arguing, heading back towards the Armelin Seat's room, and like Ekul mentioned, Rand and Ingtar have a talk. Ingtar's upset because the Fade got away. So did you kill the Fade, Ingtar? He got away. God damn it. He's upset. He's very upset that the Fade escaped.
Did you at least maim it though, Ingtar? Did you at least, kind of like pretty much kill it and it's going to bleed out? No? Oh, what even happened? Maybe
in fact, he ran away and then Fortnite emoted on me as he jumped over the wall.
Holding the horn of Valir in his hand, too.
I got it, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So the Fade and Fane, I'm guessing, the Dark Friends that were already there let some Trollocs in, let a couple Fades in. They rescued Fane, stole the dagger, stole the horn, and bounced. Not a good day.
Now,
is it this chapter that it's explained that they came through the little doggy hole?
Yes. Ingtar is very sad at the losses that they all suffered, and how'd they get in? And they're through the dog gate, which was brought up to us early on that it was being guarded as well. Well, the dog gate was guarded. How the fuck did that happen? They both had their throat cut. Somebody inside, we now know for sure, based on what Ingtar says here, Dark Friends are in Faldara and in the Keep. This is kind of like finding out that there are corrupt cops on the police force in small town Mayberry. Yes. Like, these guys are supposed to be first line of defense against the evilest of evil and dark friend dog stealers. See that? And that's what I mean. Like, there should not be any dark friends for miles from here because they're supposed to be forthright people. Go ahead, Lou.
I got a question for Annie. After hearing all of that, do you have any guess as to who it could be? We already eliminated fucking Baldor, whatever the fuck his name was.
I don't know. Like I said, I think it's multiple people. I don't know who specifically it is.
Yeah, I don't think, Lou, I don't think there's a person, by the way. I don't think it goes, and it was Matt Corfin.
You know,
it was Agrimar.
I guess for me, because I know who it ends up being revealed to, it's like,
you've seen
it's like, I'm like, fuck, I want to say it. I want to say it, but
no. Yeah, no, go off the books because as well we've definitely got to go by the books with this one because there's certain liberties taken.
Oh, I'm sure
for sure
it could be someone totally different, but seeing what I've seen up to season 3, it just paints the picture so vivid that it could be the other person doing all this mischievous shit here.
And Chris Mack mentioned it earlier. He's like, just some things don't come out in the wash. Like, I don't think we're explicitly told who did what here. We are, we find out some stuff about what went down later in the book about this night, but it's not explicitly this guy was responsible for this one thing.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Because again, let's be honest, we don't know if it was one person, two people, or two people in charge and like 5 dark friends, to go up and kill the guards or what have you. And I don't think it's ever explained in that detail. I think there must be a fault running through Rand's head though, when they said, they got through the dog door. They just like cut the throat off the guards. He's like, I didn't consider that. I could have just cut their throats to get out. That's a great point. I should remember that for next time.
I will say this. The show didn't touch on any of this. Like I said, Pot on Pain was never captured, but this whole sequence was fucking chef kiss.
I
Very
like
good.
it. I'm glad you do. There's just a little bit left before we get out of this chapter. Let me push on here for a moment. Again, and Ingtar, yes, constantly being denied the hero, had to babysit Rand and his friends and escort them to the border. The Blight didn't get to go fight in Tarwin's Gap. I missed the fighting there. Upset about that. Upset that the Fade got away. He's very upset at missing his chance to be, at least
like
in everybody
Ingtar's
else's
just a
eyes,
failure.
seen as a hero or a honorable soldier. Ekul. Okay. So now Ingtar and Rand are leaving that area. Ingtar makes a joke about him wearing a jerkin. Nice shirt. What are you doing wearing that? And as they're leaving, because Rand wants to still leave, he asks about Agomar guarding the gates. He's tripled the guard on the gates. And Rand's like, fuck, I ain't getting out now. Because now, Agomar says nobody leaves. Nobody leaves. Now, nobody in, nobody out. You thought it was bad before, now it's really bad. And Rand is a little confused. Because why is Agomar giving the triple guard order when he already had everybody guarding the gates before? And Ingtar's like, what do you mean? Well, when I tried to leave earlier, everybody said I couldn't go. They're like the gates were all being barred and guarded. And it was under Lord Agomar's order, so I was told. And Ingtar's like, what? No, that.
Wait, this is so confusing. This confused me, and that even confused me more. If people weren't guarding places, then why were there guards killed at the dog thing, at the dog gate?
No,
because
okay, go ahead, Annie. Yes, I see.
They were already guarded, and then somebody came around and spread in incorrect order, saying, "All right, we're on lockdown." Before the events went down, so they could maximize the amount of, I assume, damage or whatever that they were going to do, because everybody was already on lockdown before lockdown. So somebody came around, spread a false order, and be like, hey, boss says lock all the gates. Nobody goes out. And Rand's like, what? Oh, fuck. All right, cool. And then somebody actually came and said, all right, lock all the gates. And it's like, Okay, already did.
What does that do though?
It
how does that help
confirms
the
the
daggers?
fact that Rand couldn't, because Rand was trying to get out, so somebody stopped Rand from getting out. Whether intentional or not, I don't know yet. But so
Keep Rand in.
people were gonna try to get out before this went down, so they're like, shut the gates down, keep everybody in there. Things are about to go off. Algamar's like, crap, things are going off. Shut the whole fortress down. We got you, boss. Good thing I already did.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I think it's also a logistics thing. They came in the dog gate. All the other gates were barred and locked, meaning even if they wanted to escape out any of the other places or try to rally outside of Faldara, they would have that buys them time. It also forces, so now there's this one entrance where Trollocs and Fades can come in, where nobody's going to suspect anybody coming in because it's the dog gate. And like Annie mentioned, it stops Rand, Matt, and Perrin, all three of them from leaving. Stops Moraine from leaving. It's
But they didn't go after them.
That's also like.
So maybe
Well,
stop
because
Matt leaving? Maybe.
I think the real
With the
goal of
dagger?
the mission was to get in there and get the horn and free Fane.
So why do you want to stop people leaving?
To maximize any damage that is done while in there and to prevent an escape.
That makes
Or no,
sense.
a chase, I mean. Like, you don't also want people chasing you. So if we'll just hypothetical here. If they got in and failed and then they have to run, the base is locked down. They can't chase after them. So they can get away for free.
To your point, Annie, I think the horn and the dagger were the bonus. They were probably sent to go free pot on Fane. And since Matt's dumbass was down in the dungeon, the dagger became an extra piece. And, well, fuck it. The Horn of Valyr's here, so that's an added bonus for us to steal, too. Because no one knew the horn was there except for Moraine and a few others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Tell
that's
you-
the bonus.
Yeah.
And the
I still
dagger's
can't
also
really
a
get my
bonus.
head around that. So I understand if it was like Moraine or the Almond Seat who's like, we don't want Rand fucking off, so let's make sure he doesn't get out, and it's just coincidentally gone on. But if the Dark Friends were stopping it, the only thing I could think the benefit of that would be is to make sure that Matt doesn't get out, or that the dagger doesn't Matt doesn't get out with the dagger is the only thing I could think of, because otherwise I don't see the benefit. Like, oh, maximize it, lock it down. It's like, okay, well, if it's open, you can get out easy as well. Like, there's like 10 exits instead of one.
Well, see, and that's the thing. We technically don't know who gave the order. It was somebody who has enough power and possibly knew the horn was there. Told a soldier who told another soldier, and the soldier that handed it down was credible enough that everybody believed it. Also, we know that some of the Dark Friends from the prologue were tasked with finding all three boys. We know that Leandrin is looking for all three boys. So she may have passed the order down to keep them from leaving and just keep them contained in the keep. You know what I mean? Like, you're limiting, like, if Rand would have got out, she has to search the forest outside of the keep.
Yeah, but no one.
Or Matt.
Yeah. So I don't understand why it would have been the raiding party, is my point. I can understand it being
Okay, I gotcha.
instructions from elsewhere, but for the Dark Friend raiding party, there's zero incentive on locking it down. It just makes it harder for them to get out.
Yeah.
So I think it's like not a coincidence, but kind of like a coincidence. It's probably like, oh no, yeah, it was the Armland Seat who did it to make sure Rand didn't fuck off or something like that. I don't see the benefit.
Yeah, I agree. It could have been any number of people with any number of reasons to usurp Agomar's
and it's just a coincidence
authority.
that both of these overlapped. Yeah.
We can speculate because I believe at one point they said it was Moraine who wanted the city locked down. And then they also left through the same way they came in, through the dog tunnel.
Sure.
So they got it.
Yeah, but here's
Multiple
the
Dark
thing,
Friends
like,
got
Lou,
them in.
if you broke into a house, through like a little window in the basement, I know you wouldn't, but you know what I mean, if that's how you got in, and then they locked all of the other doors in the house, it only makes it harder for you to escape because you've got to come back the
Yeah.
same way you came. If they went, oh, we had the back door open, the front door open, and a few windows open as well, you'd be like, well, brilliant. Like, I'll probably still go out the same way, but I've got like more options. So it doesn't make sense
So-
that
I guess the
raiding
caveat to
party
that
did it.
is unless that entrance that you went in, they don't know to check, and because of that, it's an easy way for you to get in and out. Because
Well,
all the
that's
other doors,
what
they're
they did.
expecting you to do a forced entry or break down a wall or go through a window or sneak through a door or whatever. But if there's already a propped open secret entrance that they just don't think to check, you can also escape that way because it's basically uncovered for you because it's already not being protected. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's perfectly sound logic, but I'm just saying with what we're working in.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come in the dog door, why wouldn't you also go out the dog door? Or
No, I
because
agree.
you're
Yeah,
a fade, you
that's
can just jump over the wall.
No, that's not whatsoever.
Well-
What actually potentially I've answered my own question here by thinking this through is if you've got, I don't know, 500 guards there, if you're moving an extra 100 of them to stand by doors instead of being inside the castle, that's a good enough reason for them to do it because they minimize the chances that they will get attacked. So yeah, that's probably it. Anyhow.
Yeah, I know. This is kind of sort of the point of the show is that we can speculate on this because it isn't explicitly told to us. That false order could have came from anywhere. The person that I know that we got told that delivered it was Uno. That was the highest rank that we know where it came from. We don't know who did it. We don't know why they did it. It could be coincidence that it just happened to overlap. I do agree with the breaking and entering situation. We don't know the how many fades was it? Was it 1 fade, 2 fades, 20 Trollocs, 40 Trollocs? We don't know what the raid party was. It was more of like Lou was mentioning, maybe the horn and the dagger was a bit more of a bonus where they were just trying to extract Fane and maybe kidnap Rand, Matt, and Perrin at the same time, try to find them. But again,
I don't
Dark
think
Friends
they were...
from the prologue, they don't know, but the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. So
Yeah.
all these plans are taking place at the same time, coincidentally to us, but are probably part of a master plan that we are now trying to surmise and put together. Because we don't know what Beelzemon told everybody, including the Dark Sisters, Boars, and any other people. We do know there's Shinar and Dark Friends because there was one walking around in the prologue. Boars made it a point to say.
We also don't know how much they know about each other. Based on Boar's observation of everybody at this meeting, he only got brief descriptions. Okay, there's a guy who's a white cloak. I can't tell how tall he is, didn't look at his haircut, didn't see if he was wearing anything specific. That's a white cloak guy. That one over there is an Aes Sedai. That guy looks like he's a merchant, and that's all they get. So if you come across somebody and you're like, okay, I found an Aes Sedai. This could be my dark friend ally or not. No clue. I don't know what they look like. I don't know what their vibe is. I've never met them really because fuck actually organizing anything.
Yeah, they're all paranoid of each other as much as, you know, their own tasks that they have to accomplish. So after that discussion, like we just had for them, because they, you know, ran an entire to had that discussion. What the fuck was going on? They make their way out of the dungeons. They see 2 brown sisters making notes, and he doesn't want to be anywhere near those brown sisters who find all this interesting. You know, the bodies lying around and the graffiti on the walls and the Trolloc attack, and this is quite interesting. Let me make notes on all this scribble scrabble. So Ingtar and the soldiers head off in one direction. Rand goes in another, and as he's walking away, he bumps into Lan. And Lan is there, and basically, I wrote it in my notes that he debunks Rand. It's not the word I meant to use, but he basically checks Rand on his whiny little behavior up until this point. You know, like, dude, you know, I heard you're making trouble, blah, blah, blah. You're silly for, you know, being nervous to be around all these women like Aes Sedai and stuff. But the women, turns out they're not upset exactly. More or less, they think he's a prince, and there have been discussions about who's going to marry this prince. And Lan is finally, you know, we get a nice side of Lan because he's cracking jokes at Rand's expense. You know, they're trying to marry you off as a prince. You're really a sheep herder. He recounts the whole entire thing of Rand's kind of leading up into this point. And these women are going to have to tame him. This is one of the few times we hear that. They're discussing about how to wrangle this prince, and because he is interesting to them, because they've never seen it before. Like they see him storming out of the women's quarters, dressed the way he was, wearing stable boy clothes. Oh, and that was the joke that Ingtar made. He was like, "Oh, you're dressed pretty fine for a stable boy." Lord Rand. They all think he's a lord or a prince. And he was like, "Well, you could have found yourself a nice Shinaran wife, settled down, and had kids, and you would have thought it was all your idea." Basically confirming that women run the show and marry men. They have men planned out before a guy even knows who he's getting married to. They already know. You know what I mean? That they know who. Oh, you're gonna marry him? Okay, we'll help you. Like there's definitely a camaraderie there that they're setting up Rand. But Lan is like, "Yep, too bad. You got to go, right? You could have found yourself a nice chick, settled down, had a family. Yeah, but you're on your way out." And Rand is like, "Well, I just heard that the guards are tripled and I can't go anywhere." "You're exempt, buddy. You can go if you want. I mean, you got all night to decide. It's your choice." "But what about my friends? My friends. Egwene is hurt. Matt is hurt. And Perrin, I don't know." And so, even though he was being a dick to his friends earlier, he still is very much concerned about them. And Lan lets him know. It's his choice. It's your choice, sheepherder. You can stay here. You could fuck off. It's not a big deal. Whatever you decide to do, it's on you. And then
all that for nothing then.
Rand again. I'm sorry, what was that?
All that huff and puff for nothing then.
Yes, really. Rand does quickly mention, he's like, "Well, why was the gates guarded before and I couldn't leave, but now the gates are guarded and I can leave? I mean, what the hell is going on?" And Lan makes a confused face. He's like, "Well, you can go now. When somebody offers you a horse to leave on, you don't complain about how fast it is." Which I also thought was a good line. So we can also speculate that maybe the false
you might
order
be the
wasn't
only
given by
one,
Moiraine.
mommy.
Yeah, fair, so far. And that's the full chapter 6. We've pretty much covered all of that. Any final thoughts on chapter 6? Was it enjoyable? No final thoughts?
It was epic. No, it was epic.
A fucking great chapter.
I loved it. It was one of the best I think so far. And if we need any more proof that Mammy's trolling, she like we've noticed, she said, "I like Rand." So yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It only took us 55 minutes to get through it, but hey, why not?
All right. Well, yeah. For the sake of being brief, a inside joke if you're a Ogier sympathizer.
Where was L'Oreal through all this shit? Like,
he was being naive, I think. Being pretty naive at that point.
Well, he was gambling with some of the guys down in the basement last we heard from him.
Oh, come on, bro. The bells go off and there's no way to find a big-ass, tall fucking monarch over here?
Well, it would have been nice to see if he would have handled some of the Trollocs in a fight, but, he might have been sleeping. Who knows? I know.
I swear.
Suspiciously absent from the last couple chapters.
Yeah,
and
it was him.
Moving in.
He let Pot on Fane go.
Yes. Ogier Dark Friend? Oh, no. Chapter 7, Blood Calls Blood. More formal introductions and rituals reference into the title chapter here. We get a perspective change. We're now with Moiraine, who is escorting Matt. They're walking with Matt. We're continuing from where Liandrin and Moiraine parted from the dungeons, and Moiraine is now heading up to the Armland Seats room. Matt's being carried away on the litter. So I'm not. Wait, I'm not. And correct me here. Like, did they do the healing already? Right? Like he's being taken out of the room, or is that in a moment?
Since I started this chapter twice, they're healing him. It's
yes.
It's the Armand Seat, Moiraine, and I think a Brown sister, all attempting to heal him.
Seat.
And then they tell him, Hey, we did what we
delicious.
can do. He'll be lucky if he gets a couple of months to live unless he gets that dagger back.
Yes, thank you, Lou. I'm glad you paid attention. Moraine is speculating on it with the other sisters. They discuss it. Matt has months to live, and he's probably the best one to go retrieve this dagger because they all kind of know what's going on here.
Because he's expendable. He's about to die. It's like, might as well send him. he's
I mean,
a gun
I
anyway.
was taking that more as he still has a link to that dagger, so he could probably track
Yeah.
it
I
somehow.
was
Also,
I was
he's the one that
joking,
needs
yeah.
it, so it just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you send somebody else, they have to go get the dagger and bring it back. If you send the guy who needs the dagger, as soon as he gets the dagger, problem solved. There's no bringing it back. He's got it.
I just think it's very convenient. They went, oh, this is really tricky. We don't know how to heal him. I guess we could just send him to go get the dagger, and that should fix everything, I guess. And it's like, no, don't just give up. It's like, it's hard. Go on, Matt, go get your dagger back. He's like,
Matt,
I
go
still
get your
dying?
crack
Yeah.
pipe, bro. Get your
You're
crack
very
pipe
much-
and you'll
you're
be
very much
healed.
dying. Yeah.
So, yes, they decide that he needs to go retrieve the dagger. We get to meet Varen a little bit here. That's the brown sister that you mentioned. Matt is linked to the dagger, and it is explained that the dagger spreads corruption, like it will infect the person and thus bleed over. It's like a mental illness that is catchy. It definitely has heavy paranoia, very turning and introverting to yourself. We saw what happened to Matt when he was at the Queen's Blessing in Camelin. So yeah, we do have an idea of what it can do and how it can spread. And also here, we find out that the Browns are nerds. They're nerds with their noses in books all the time and taking notes and all this. We get a little bit of a insight to this Aja. There's a couple little things here and there that are dropped. The Green Sisters want to marry up all the time, or they like to get warders, you know.
They essentially called them a bunch of PDFs. They like them young as well. They get them.
Yeah,
real
they
young.
did say that in
Oh,
this
my
in
God, carry
one
on.
of the upcoming.
Jesus. Yeah.
The brown
so-
are nerds, the green are horny. What else?
But they like men. That's what
The Reds are lesbians. We get
The
it.
Reds
We
like
get
the
it. Jesus.
decapitate
Yes, exactly.
men.
Something
The
that's
blue-
just mentioned in passing that we also haven't mentioned is apparently they're ageless.
Yes.
They get
Oh, that's the magic.
They get a
been
look
mentioned
to
few
them.
times. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
mentioned a few times, Annie, where Rand's like, I can't tell, like, is she like Nynaeve's age? Is she like
Sure, but I just thought that
44?
was because of her like appearance. But it's been
Sure,
like
and
actually
then when you
mentioned,
see
and now
more-
it's like they
Yes.
have like an agelessness
so-
to them. So I'm like,
Yes.
okay, now
Exactly.
I guess
So,
if it's a spoiler,
initially-
it might be, but like, are they functionally immortal? Like, I mean, obviously they can still be killed, but they can just live forever if they go live in a cave.
you
I
live
think it was
longer.
really more described of
Do
they
they
got
need
a
to eat?
young look, but their hair ages. Because the one
Right,
that
Annie,
had
they're
like
not,
grayish
they're
hair.
not vampires.
No, I
They're not
know,
vampires, they
yes,
just
but I'm
live
trying to figure
longer.
out their immortality level. Like, if
No,
they don't,
no,
if
we
they
didn't
don't
say
age,
immortality, they just
No.
live
what?
longer.
Well, here
They're
there's going
Aragorn.
to be there's going to be
It's
more
like
there's
that.
going to be more information on this, Annie, later on.
Mm.
Oh,
Like Chris Mack
here
says,
you go,
it's an
Annie.
extended
You need one?
lifespan.
Can they fly? It's like, no.
Andy,
I
you
didn't
seen
answer
Lord of the
that.
Rings?
That's a
can't-
stupid question. That's not included
lift
in
other people.
agelessness.
Andy, did you see Lord of the Rings? It's easily explained. If you saw
Everybody
Lord of the
stop
Rings,
talking at
remember
the same
Aragorn.
time.
Remember
Look,
Eric?
am
He
I
had
muted?
that
I literally said that 2
extended
minutes ago.
lifespan.
I think
Cool.
I'm muted.
Yes.
Okay.
No, you well maybe at that time I don't know, but yes, it's very much like that. The agelessness is being described as their looks, not necessarily their lifespan. Like it's just hard to put an age to somebody. If Young Old Vibes is still here, I can't tell if she's 20 or 40. In her profile picture. So that's like an agelessness thing, not necessarily that they live a long time. But it is pointed out to us that Varen has gray hair on her sides, and that makes her exceptionally old in Aes Sedai terms, because
I
they do
think
have an
also-
extended lifespan.
Yeah, I think also with that, just to kind of clarify, I think we see one Aes Sedai early on, yeah. So he's kind of like, I can't work out how old she is, and we go, okay, whatever, like cool. Just she might be, like you said, young old vibe, just someone who you can't tell if she's 20 or 40, and that's it. But when you see lots of them, that's when I think now Annie's kind of going, oh, so it's a literal thing. It's like, yeah, it's a literal thing. You could have 10 of them in a row in front of you and be like, oh shit, okay, this is what Aes Sedai look like. They all have this agelessness thing about them. So yeah, it is a new thing because we've never really seen more than one. I assume 40.
Well, I was gonna just make the point on Lou. Like, if Lou shaves his face, he could be 25 or 45.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But that's the thing. If Lou shaves his face and told you he has a grandkid, well, from where I'm sitting, yeah. If you told me you had a grandkid with no gray hair on your face, I'd be like, oh shit. When did you have a kid? 16? You'd be like, no, it was 20, 21, like a normal fucking person.
23.
You know what I mean? Like,
I got you.
That's what I'm saying. So that way, your son, when you're 40, is in his 20s, doing the same thing you were doing. It maths out. But your face doesn't look like that. When we think of 40, 50-year-olds. Oh yeah, no, here I am doing this. Stop it. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Varen is older, but does have an ageless look. They do have extended lifespan because they are Aes Sedai. They start a plan. Matt has to find it. The horn is with Fane. We got to find the horn. We got to capture Fane back. Moiraine is very worried. Because of all this, like it's fucking up her plan, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, Moiraine had things thought out very well. She wants things to go a certain way. Did not foresee this.
The wheel threw a wrench in her plan.
Oh yes, there you go. Luke, the same page. But then Varen pipes up and reveals her notes. There was a dark prophecy that was written on the walls downstairs. The daughter of the night returns, and a bunch of other stuff that I didn't write down.
Oh God, I love that passage right there when they mentioned it. Oh.
Very good passage. I almost that's something
I was
else
like,
that I
yes, we finally got the bitch back. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna maybe start clipping some things and then playing it, but then that makes the show, I don't know. I haven't figured it out
clips.
yet.
Can't do clips on shows. They're boring.
No more clips. Clips are out.
Boring. Shouldn't do a show if you need clips.
And specifically here for Ekul because, But this is where the chapter title comes in. Blood as blood is, blood as blood was, blood as blood will be. Like, it's just like there's a whole bunch of bloods going on in here.
Dude, I was hoping they weren't going to say her name because I was like, don't say the name. Don't say the name. Just leave it a mystery a little while longer.
Well, they suss it out. But speaking of names, and why I was mentioning Ekul, we get a nice little bit of Luke being at the ridgeline, and Esam being at the other place, and fuck, man, there's a little bit of that's just a little throwaway line that foreshadows a lot later. And the Great Lord is going to return. He comes again. Blah blah blah. So this is basically the bad guy's prophecy versus the good guy's prophecy. And it also explicitly says here in this prophecy that Rand has a choice. Rand does have a choice to either go with God or not. Basically, and there are ways to try to influence this. Apparently. It's very nice that it's all given to us in a nice little bit of prophecy. They're unclear of the total meaning, but they know that the daughter of the night is one of the Forsaken named Lanfear. Apparently, she's one of the most powerful Forsaken, right next to Shamael, Lou's favorite bad guy. Here's why I think she's one of the most powerful. They mentioned that Luz Theron Telamon, the former dragon, was a lover of Lanfear. Like, not a lover of, like, he loved her. They were lovers together. They loved each other. And I am unsure if they had an affair while he was married to Lyanna, or was this prior to, and he left her for Lyanna? I don't remember.
I assume prior.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I assume prior, but that's amazing.
I do too. But, like, at this point, you don't know, like, oh shit, you know what I mean? We just know he was in love with one woman, and here it turns out he had another one on the side. Possibly.
Also, it's a completely different age, mate. So it might have been acceptable to be like, yeah, I'm married, but that's just my side
open
piece.
relationships are acceptable.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Well,
now,
go ahead, Lou.
Landfair, she's just a badass.
Yeah.
The little bit I've got with her, she's just a badass, and oh boy, I hope like they really dive deep with her character in this book. Because a little bit I've watched on screen with her, like, yo,
she's important,
yeah,
obviously.
Mhm.
yeah, she kicks ass.
I was just reading in the subreddit to sidetrack a little bit, and they were talking about who should be Landfair. Somebody suggested Anne Hathaway as well.
No, the person who played her
Exactly
on the show was perfect.
Well, see,
like-
that's what it was all about. Like, oh, blah blah blah. You know. All right,
Fuck
I know
Anne
who should-
Hathaway.
I know who
No,
should
Anne
have played
Hathaway.
her.
No, fuck that. No,
that's
hell
what a
no.
lot of people were like. Nah, she's not that kind of person.
I've got the
see,
actual
I-
perfect casting. If you'd like to hear, I could tell you. I've got the actual answer that you guys want. It's
Please.
Angelina Jolie from 15 years ago would have been a perfect Landfair.
from
She's
either
so
Girl
good in the
Interrupted
dark
or
and-
Hackers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit older than
Okay.
that, but that kind of attitude. She would have been
Okay,
perfect. Yeah,
okay,
the girl was
I
very
can-
good, Lou, in the show. She was very good in it.
I can get behind Angelina.
Yeah.
I like how Chris Mack got upset too about the Anne Hathaway thing. That's exactly what was going on. It was Reddit, Chris. So you know it was like, what are you talking about? And I agree, Ekul. Man, yeah, a nice Angelina Jolie.
She would have been good, yeah, for sure.
So further talks carry on between all three sisters, and they are worried about Arthur Hawkwing's descendants and other such. Like, oh yeah, after the 100 Years' War, when they were all fighting, a couple of Arthur Hawkwing's sons went across the Arth Ocean and never came back. And Moraine makes a point to say that they're fighting on Almath Plain and it's Home and Head. You know that there's shit going down up there. We're not sure what it is yet, but that could be them, could be something else. We don't know. We'll find out. And Moraine and Swan want to talk alone. Swan's getting annoyed with the Varen because the Varen's going on about things Swan kind of already knows about and wants to speak with Moraine alone because she knows Moraine's got other things to talk about, but doesn't want to say in front of Varen. Yet Varen carries on. Who is continuing to confuse and frustrate Swan, who slams her hand down on the table. And I know about all this. I'm very well aware. But Varen explains herself and susses out that one of the boys can channel, at the very least, which shocks Moraine, because Moraine was the one who said the Browns are nerds with their nose in books and probably don't really pay attention to the outside world. And here she got deceived by it. Varen's paying very close attention, just in a very passive way. My teachers hated that in school. I was quoted once saying, I might not be paying attention, but I heard every word you said, to a teacher. I said that back to the teacher. Not a good response. Well, what did I say? And then I repeated it back to what the teacher had said, almost verbatim. Teacher goes, okay. It was in college. I had a laptop in front of me and I was being accused of browsing the internet and not paying attention. I was paying attention to the class and browsing the internet at the same time. Did not go over exactly well. But that's what I feel is going on here. Varen can pay attention to her notes and read her book, but is well aware of what's going on in the room. She knows. Varen knows. And knows that they're hiding a guy that can channel, and Moraine and Swan are like, well, why didn't you snitch us out? You know, this is kind of treason. We're hiding a guy that can channel, blah, blah, blah. And turns out Varen just kind of wants to study him. Well, nobody studied a false dragon or a man that can channel. How long does it take to go mad? How long does it take before he can learn to channel? What happens if he doesn't learn to channel? You know, is he, how does it affect him in his personality? Blah, blah, blah. So, which is kind of funny in my own right. Like, she's just, again, reverting back to being interested in studying. Is
This
he the
character
dragon?
rules.
Thank you.
She comes off as a
also.
doctor.
Varen is very
Scientist.
yes,
Yeah, science.
more or less.
Okay. Yeah.
And Varen knows that it's dangerous to be letting a man who channels run around. You know, she's not unaware of that. They all three know it's very dangerous. But she's now recruited. You know what I mean? She's, oh, well, guess what? You figured it out, so now you're in on the whole thing. You're with us. Because she puzzled it out. And Swan and Moraine, you know, I think it's Moraine who's thinking here, it's like, listen, Varen, I didn't want you to be a part of this. I love you. You've known me since we were little. you saw us stealing honey cakes and you didn't. You helped us out then. Varen was one of the first ones to suss it out because Moraine and Swan were friends as children. Like, she knew because of their past relationship and being as old as she is, it helped her put all this together. And that's where the chapter kind of breaks right there. Let's move on.
guys-
Hold on. I want it breaks with her, with the Amelie asking how long have you kind of known this? And not last chapter, but I think it was the chapter before, we learned that Moraine and her have been planning this for at least 20 years. And she goes to say, I first started to notice it about 20 years ago. So it's like,
Yes.
fuck, you've known our plan the entire time?
Yes. And letting you know, like I just mentioned, letting you know that Varen is very much Columbo, in my opinion, if anybody's familiar with that show. People, and I use it to my advantage, when people think you're either slow, and Perrin as well, when people think you're slow or not paying attention, it becomes an advantage to you.
That's what
Everybody
I said.
else thinking you're not all there, or having it as a weakness.
So in
Varen very
Varen's
much
case,
rules.
she's known for 20 years and she's been studying various books to gain massive knowledge on the situation. So
just by
she's
her
a good
nature.
ally. Yeah, she's a good
Exactly.
ally in this case.
She's very smart. I saw those eyes, Ekul.
Could be.
There's so many great
So-
characters, honestly. Like, she's
Yeah,
one
that's
of
what I mean, like-
10 that I would at some point go, that's a great character. I love this character. They're like really
There's
good.
a list.
And that's what's so good about this book is you could, I don't know if you do, but you could go 4 books without seeing her and then just have her again, like for a couple more books. And you like, there's so many characters like that you're just like, oh, they're so cool. It's such a good like series.
I can't wait for Tom to return. We know he's going to. We've all been told that
I
he's
thought he
coming back.
died. I'm pretty sure
Like,
he's
that's what
dead.
I'm saying.
It's like the Dark
Well,
One.
Moraine
He's
says
dead
he
right
ain't.
Spoiler
now.
alert.
Death,
Spoiler
Death
alert.
Is an
He's
option.
definitely wrong about everything. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
he's brought up again later. He died. He died, I say. He's dead.
I know.
Yeah, he's on the
That's a
way
good-
to death right now, and after he's done being there, he'll be back.
Do
Sure.
any of you guys in the US watch their show Traitors?
I
Firstly,
don't watch a lot of
firstly, you
shows, but
should.
what is-
It's great. It very much reminds me. I think Varian would be amazing in it. So essentially, quick premise: there's like 20 people. They all live in a house together for like 3 weeks. Yeah. At the beginning, 3 of them get tapped on the shoulder and they're like told that means you're a traitor. The rest are all faithfuls. And then bit by bit, they kill people
Among
night
Us?
by night. And you,
Mhm.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah, Annie.
That's what it
yeah,
sounds
pretty-
like.
pretty much. And it's great. It's a really good show. And I was just imagining him Verin in because I just finished watching the season, being one of the people working out the traitors because she's just like, 20 years ago. It's like, oh fuck me, all right, nothing gets past you. Never mind. But yeah,
And yeah, exactly. It's what it's. I do it sometimes, and probably to my detriment. But like, you start adding things up, and you're like, oh, this seems like a pattern here, and it might lead to that. And sometimes it does, and sometimes I look the fool. So be careful what you do. But Varen is very good at, and it just proved it here in this last little bit, at sussing out details and putting it together. And it's mentioned she got another piece of the puzzle as soon as Moraine got the 2 things. Moraine was shocked with her eyes, so she visibly saw it there. And then both Moraine and Swan embrace the source, and Varen sees and feels that. Boom.
Snitch.
You
Yeah,
just,
They
they both
snitched on
get like
themselves
scared, and they're like,
immediately.
"Oh, mom!"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, wait, shit, fuck, damn."
Yep. So, it also shows us that those 2, as careful as they are, aren't infallible. They're being extremely careful. And it was mentioned before that, thank God nobody remembers when they first had their alone meeting, Swan and Moraine. Thank God nobody knows that we're, good friends. And turns out Varen does know. Somebody did remember and put it together. So, be careful. Moving on, because we're still in the same chapter, but we get a perspective shift. Now we're with our boy Perrin, who's attempting to sneak in and see his boy Matt, who's in the infirmary. There was a sister who turned him away immediately when he tried to just, walk in and be actually normal, go see his friend. But that did not work. So here he uses his super smell and his super hearing to sniff out the nice smelling Aes Sedai who walked away. he can hear her quiet slippers going off in the distance and smell her perfume fading. What a perv. So he makes his way in. He sneaks into the room. The room is completely empty except for Matt. And Rand puts it together. Oh, yeah, that would be normal because there's tons of Aes Sedai here. And during the raid, people got healed. So, no big deal. But the room still smells like sick and it makes him feel uneasy. Matt looks tired, like he's been out in the field working for days at a time, but is kind of just chilling, sleeping, but still smells wrong. Perrin smells something wrong on him. And goes through that little internal monologue. Where he goes outside and, sorry, I had to catch my own memory. Perrin leaves. We're getting a flashback where he was like thinking about things and wanted to talk to somebody, but couldn't find anybody to talk to. Matt and Egwene were injured in an infirmary. Rand has got a puffed up head and thinks he's a Lord Prince now, so why even talk to him? And so Perrin went out into the moonlight to contemplate his situation on his own. And while he's out there thinking, Leandrin, before the attacks started, he was found by a couple of, I think, a servant, maybe another Aes Sedai. I can't remember who exactly seen him, but they said, go tell Leandrin, or Lady Amalisa, one of the two, that they found Perrin. And as soon as they found Perrin, that's when the bells started chiming, because he's, he was just trying to, suss out all this wolf stuff in his head, and he can't, he's troubled. He's a troubled boy. But, it's told to us here that they were looking for not just Rand, but Perrin as well, and possibly Matt. But then we go back to current time, and Matt is waking up, and Matt and Perrin have a little talk. Do you remember anything? And Matt tries to recall, I went down with Egwene, told me, forced me. Like Egwene basically drug him down to go to see Fane into the dungeons. But he falls back asleep, because he's just kind of out of it. And luckily Matt falls back asleep because the Aes Sedai who's supposed to be on guard at the door busts Perrin sitting there with his friend. Oh shit. And gets chastised. If you hurt my patient, if you've done anything to... He's asleep, I promise you. He's over... look, he's over there. He's still sleeping. I didn't do anything. I just wanted to see he was okay. And he didn't catch her name. Alana, maybe? But she's a yellow sister and makes a joke. And she's like, don't think if you hurt my patient that, your broad shoulders are going to save you. I had brothers like you back at home, and I'm not afraid of them, and I'm not afraid of you. I'll deal with you any way that I have to. And, Perrin's like, well, I just wanted to know if he's going to be okay. And she answers and says, yes, he'll be fine. He'll be up on his feet in about an hour. You won't even know anything's wrong with him. But Perrin smells deception on her again. So now we're starting to see that even though he's worried about being a wolf, that some of these side effects aren't exactly terrible. They're definitely giving him insight to how people actually behave. And apparently you can smell like you're lying.
None of them are detrimental or negative. He's just whiny.
Yeah, he's definitely upset with what's happening to him. It's a change. He's going through some type of puberty. He's confused. He's a confused boy. He's getting hair places he didn't know that hair could grow. And so he tries to excuse himself here. And now, if you'll excuse me, Aes Sedai, thank you very much. I will be on my way. Nope. She stops him and says, let me look at your eyes. And she doesn't say, let me look at her. She grabs him by the chin and looks him in the eyes and delves him again. I'm giving away what they call it, but we've seen it happen twice here now. More than that. We've seen other people being healed, and there's a warming sensation that comes over Perrin, which is, I'm going to point this out because I noticed it this time and haven't really paid attention to it before. It's a warming sensation from this yellow sister, whereas when Moraine does her healing, it's cold and shocking. So it's not exactly the same.
Yes.
And again, we also did. Go ahead, Ekul. Yep, you're going to say it.
So yellow sisters are essentially medics, right? They're kind of like nurses,
Yes.
doctors, so that's their thing. So it kind of makes sense that Moraine's like, yeah, I can put you back together. And it's like, well, yeah, so could someone on the battlefield kind of tie something around you so you don't bleed to death. Whereas they're kind of like got the touch. They like, okay, I can do it so it feels pleasant, so it doesn't cause any distrust. But also, isn't she kind of like encroaching on him a little bit there by kind of delving and trying to heal him without his permission? Like, that's kind of bad etiquette. And I think it's because they're not used to it, but still, that's probably frowned upon, like in terms of just, oh yeah, well, I just tried to heal him. It's like, did he ask you to? Nope.
That's the thing. If you were on the metro or something and you fell and broke your finger right then, and somebody just like, you're like, fuck man, I got to get to the hospital now, and somebody starts bandaging you up, you're like, don't touch me, you freak. What's wrong with you? And at the same time here, though, they're Aes Sedai. They have a level of revelry or respect to them that they expect to be obeyed by anybody who isn't Aes Sedai or royalty. You know what I mean? Like there's a level of command that they all think they deserve or are entitled to, and that's one of them, especially with the Yellow Sisters. We're gonna heal you whether you want it or not. So speaking of, she looks at his eyes and says, well, it's not jaundice. I wonder what's going on here. And says, asks him, is like, if you were born with those color eyes, well, I'd be a white cloak. And he's like, they're the eyes that I always had. Like he actually gets kind of snippy and catches himself. But another great moment where he is upset and wants to leave, he literally picks her up by her arms, literally like just grabs her by her shoulders, picks her up and sets her over to the side and then walks away. To also give us perspective of how large and strong Perrin actually is. He can pick a woman up and just move her.
I think it always gives us a bit of perspective in on, was it Alana as well that you said, who was trying to like heal him or whatever, or whoever the Yellow Sister is, that she let him, or was like that she knows, okay, this guy's he's no real harm. Because if someone that size put hands on an Aes Sedai, they don't normally get that close, right? That's why you have warders, and that's why they have the one power. So she must have just known, all right, yeah, maybe I've pushed my luck a little bit and like let it slide, because it's kind of like pushing someone who's got a gun and they're just like, all right, I'll let it go. It's fine. Like, I don't need to pull out the gun and be like, you what? But yeah.
I agree.
Good. I'm glad you agree.
I just lost my train of thought a little bit. So that was that bit of an exchange. We just got a little bit of Perrin checking up on Matt. So we know the state of Matt. She also threatens that Perrin could be a warder. You better not let any Greens see you. So Perrin's also just a handsome gentleman. And that was it. That was the other thing. We got that stupid running gag that we're going to get throughout the entire book, your favorite one, because Perrin was snippy with her, and she responds in a certain way, not just because he's snippy, but like, I can handle it. Like, she doesn't know. Perrin doesn't know if she's being flirty or
Matt would forceful. Know what to do, right?
God,
Rand would know what to do. Matt would know. I'm not good with girls like my boys are. Yeah, so we got that joke also taking place here at the end of this little bit of a chapter.
These three idiots say the same line, and they don't realize that neither one of them are good with girls.
That's
Spoiler
why
alert, Lou, it goes on the entire book. The entire book. Even when really serious stuff's happening, they're like, I wish I was as good as with women as Perrin is. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, shut up.
So is that Robert Jordan's way of saying this is going to be a running gag for the 15th book?
He trolls you throughout the book. You're like, how are you still saying this kind of nonsense?
Yeah, there's a couple things that we're getting trolled with, and that's one of them. Like I mentioned, I think the other one for me is skirt smoothing, which happens a lot. Straightens her skirts, grips her braid.
Tugging her braid.
Yeah, that's the one. So Perrin leaves there and, makes his, mostly comical exit to... Because it's not just he picks her up, sets her down, and walks away. He picks her up, sets her down, starts to walk, and then runs away. You're like, get me the fuck out of here. Because somebody is noticing. Like, it's starting to be harder for him to hide his eyes to people. And we get yet another perspective shift. Rand has been up all night because apparently he slept all day and woke up in the night. Remember, he went to go save Egwene and then talked to Ingtar, and he spoke with Lan a little bit, and Lan told him he can go. But Rand has made it back to his room. and he wants to go, but he can't. He's worked up the nerve at least 3 times. He had his saddlebags on his shoulder, got his hand on the doorknob, opened the door, but just couldn't get out the door because he's worried about my friends.
My friends, I need to talk to my friends.
Exactly. And speaking of, Perrin returns because they were sharing a room. A bare room with no carpets or with no tapestries on the wall, just like, the arrow slit lining. It was pointed out in this chapter too that the sun comes through the arrow slit on the wall, and the sun is shining on a bare wall. I don't know why that Robert Jordan feels the need to let us know that it's so stark in there, but he does.
And he tells us it's a very, very thin mattress.
Well, just in case you wanted to imaginarily lay down in that room.
I'm
Exactly.
not laying down on no thin ass mattress.
I know, right? I'm going to the
floor.
ladies' apartments. It's much nicer over there.
Doesn't it show how spoiled Rand's got? Wouldn't they just wouldn't they traveling in bushes and that about 3 months ago?
Good point.
Now he's like,
point.
yeah, here's my sparse room that I have to share with someone with a mediocre mattress. It's like, all right, pal. It's pretty good.
You, hey, I went from
How
being
much
a
you paying, Rand?
hobo.
Nothing.
You got to get pineapple. They went from being hobos to now sharing a room for over a month now, so you get used to the finer things in life.
Yeah, but he isn't having the finer things, is my point. I think he was used to the inn, where is it, in Camelin, where he was living like a scrounge there. But yeah, anyway.
It was nice living in Camelin. Master Gil took very good care of Rand and Matt. And Loyal. So as Perrin comes into the room, Rand asks after Matt and Egwene, and Perrin unconsciously starts answering him, but then catches himself. He's like, "Oh, well, why don't you go look and see? Well, you don't need to ask me, my lord," and starts sticking it to him pretty hard.
My lord.
Right. But Rand tries to make his smartass joke about the Aes Sedai and how they were looking and blah, blah, blah. And Perrin ain't having it. Go ahead, Annie, I'm sorry.
It might benefit Rand to just lean into it. If everybody's going to think he's like this regal dude, just, instead of acting the way you do, just lean into it. And then maybe you can get some more stuff. But no, Rand is too Rand.
No, yes, he's very Rand. The joke falls flat. Perrin ain't having it. He looks like a hurt bear, it's mentioned to us. Like, Perrin's hurt by Rand and what Rand had done. And starts sticking it, and really goes after him. He's like, "Well, my lord, I'm sorry that, a clumsy blacksmith like myself is always in your way, my lord." And Rand tries to apologize, and it isn't working. He's like, "Look, Perrin, I got trouble on my ass. I don't want you and Matt to be a part of it. The Aes Sedai were looking for me. They're trying to find me. They want to do something. I can't tell you the whole story." And Perrin pipes up and says, "Well, who was looking for whom? Because I know they were looking for me as well while I was outside, ready to see attack happen. They found me and said they found me right in front of me. Stupid. They were looking for me." And Rand doubles down. He's like, "No, they weren't." You know what I mean? And he's like, "No, I know they're looking for me, and why they're looking for me, I just can't tell you." But Rand is like, I'm sorry about what I said. I didn't really mean.
And he doesn't
any of
even
those
bother
words.
to question him. He's just like, okay.
Pretty much. But this is what Perrin tries to let him know how I want it fixed. He says, "Well, so me, you, and Matt are all going to leave here together then, And Rand says, "No, I can't, Perrin. I can't. I can't tell you why, but I can't." "Fine, my lord." And he basically stalks off in anger and looks over his shoulder. He's like, "Sorry that we're not, basically we're not good enough for you." And Rand is upset because he's basically pushed his friends away. This is what you wanted, isn't it? Fine fucking box you painted yourself into. But as he's sitting there thinking about what he's done to his friends, Lan knocks on the door. And, Rand, "Oh, who is it?" "It's me, sheepherder." And Lan comes in. He's formally dressed. He's got his nice golden knot with the crane of Malkir on the side. This is also, you mentioned last chapter being one of your favorite chapters. And then I responded with the last 7 minutes of this. This is where this chapter shines for me. finally, the armament seat is summoning Rand. Lan knows right where to find him. It's not like all of this hiding that Rand was trying to do, all this dodging that he was trying to get away from, foiled. Right in 1 second, Lan walks right into his bedroom, right where he is not, most easily found. You know what I mean?
Lan, I'm glad to see you. I was literally just leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
Head ass.
Yeah, no, sheep herder, you've been summoned by the armament seat.
You go nowhere now.
He's like, well, I was trying to go. Too late for that, buddy. Sorry, you are going to see the armament seat. Captain Commander of the White Cloaks, Mr. Pedro Nile himself, although trying to plot to kill her on the way to go see her, does not turn down an audience with the armament. You don't do it. And Lan yells at him, get it the fucking together, sheep herder. Take that shirt off. Put this shirt on. Hands him a silk shirt. He's getting ready, and it's moving at a quick pace too. Put this coat on. Those boots are fine. They'll do. And really giving him an assessment. Make sure you wear your sword, and starts giving him the ceremonial rundown of what he should do. You put your hand on your hilt. Make sure you kneel to the armament, like I did when I was in Camelin with the Queen. And he's like, yeah, just like that. That'll get him. And there's a couple times Lan kind of smiles to himself. We know he's deliberately kind of screwing with the armament seat and Moraine here. Go ahead, Annie. You were going to say something?
No, I'm just enjoying that he's like, okay, do this, and make sure to do this one, because that'll really make sure they appreciate you.
That'll stick it to him. I mean, that'd be the right thing to do. So, all right, got you.
Exactly. So, yes, he's going to do the hand over heart, hand on sword, just like if he was kneeling to Queen Morghese, which is probably right because Rand is from Andor, technically. That is the Queen's land, even though they haven't been there to collect taxes in years. So, yeah, that's one of the things. And then Rand is like, well, why are you helping me? It's like you're on my side or something. And my favorite line of the book, he's like, I am on your side, sheep herder. A little. It just lets him know, just a tiny bit. I'm helping you out. I'll help. I'm on your side enough to help you out a bit, because he wants Rand to stop whining and actually be a man, and is not going to let him look stupid. Because they know Lan has been spending a lot of time with him, Moraine especially, and brings it up.
I think Lan is a bit of a spoiler. You know how Rand is kind of like, I'm not sure if I should trust Moraine, blah, blah, blah. I think Lan is an unintentional spoiler where he's kind of like, you know what kind of guy I am. I wouldn't be giving you this help. I wouldn't be kind of being decent to you if we were just kind of using you, or we didn't like you, or we were like dark friends or what have you. You wouldn't get that from Lan, I don't think. So I think that is kind of a little spoiler of Rand, stop being such a knobhead, like she saved you about 10 times. Maybe she's okay. But he's like,
And even if you're still worried. Yeah, exactly. And even if you're still worried about these Aes Sedai, just face it on your feet. Tells him one time right there. And don't let these people bully you. Look the Armelin straight in her eye. Don't drop your gaze to her. He's telling him, dude, fucking nut up or shut up. And then so the instructions continue. Look her in the eye, and we get a this and that of it kind of thing, of all the customs. And Rand tries again. I was on my way out the door, man. Why don't you just let me go? And he's like, it's too late now, sheep herder.
You've been summoned by the sea.
And he's like, listen, I do the best I can for you. I am doing right by you as much as I possibly can. Believe it. Like he literally says, believe it, like Naruto. Believe it. And at the same time, Lan also admits that he's helping him because guess what? I'm with Moraine. Moraine's after you. What else am I going to do? I'm kind of bored, so I might as well teach you the sword and teach you how to act right? What else do I got? Otherwise, I'm going to be standing around not doing shit. So, it's not only is he helping him because he feels bad for Rand, he's helping him because, well, why not? I got shit else to do until the last battle, so let's see if I can help you out a little, at least make you a better person, or a better prepared person for what's to come for you. But then he presents him with the Red Eagle pin of Manetheren. Lan ties the golden knot on his shoulder for formality, and then puts the enameled pin that he already had made. He was going to give that to him, I think, even before this. It seems like. I don't know if you guys picked up on that or not.
Yeah.
Gay.
So this is one of the. Oh, go ahead, Ekul. Yes.
I was just being rude. I was just calling Lan gay for getting him a pin made. God.
Well, and that's the thing. Here he is. He fixed. Straighten your shirt up, sheep herder. And so he
Such a
fixes him up.
cutie.
Puts his coat on him. Straps the sword. Straightens his belt buckle. Looks back at what he has done for Rand and smiles at it. He's very impressed with himself and Rand and his look now too.
You clean up well, Rand Arthur.
And I made the note to write, yes, he's absolutely 100% fucking with the Armelin because he puts the Red Eagle of Manethrin on him. This will also throw him for a loop. Sons of bitches. And the chapter ends with the now famous quote, in my opinion: "There's only one rule for being a man. Whatever comes your way, you face it on your feet." And that's the end of that chapter. It's, sometimes, whether it's fate driven or not, depending on how you feel on it, life is always going to throw shit at you. And you do have this choice. You either hide in your bedroom and sleep all day, guilty, or you go out and attack the world. You got to do what you got to do, all of us are tasked with life, and that entails, in modern day, keeping your bills paid, making sure your family's taken care of, and making sure yourself is taken care of, so you're not a burden to those around you.
What if I just stay in a shed and shit in a cooler?
If you can deal with that,
I still deserve a good life.
I mean, you got to be contributing in some way, otherwise people are going to get fed up with freeloading. Believe you me. I know, damn.
But I do. I do contribute. Contribute to Guzzle and Bear.
Oh boy. So any other further remarks on that last chapter? I'm going to have to try to push through the now longest chapter here because we spent so much time on this first two.
Dude, we could cut out like 20 minutes from the next chapter. The whole land and naive section, we just cut that out. That shit was boring. Like,
that's the future prediction.
Here, take this ring. I don't want your ring, but I love you.
We'll get there. All right,
but I don't want to say it. Oh, fuck off, you two fucking freaks.
You'd think after 20 episodes, Lou would realize the format of this show, but maybe.
Yeah, I get the format, but we're trying to get the pace. You're about to dip, bro.
So yeah, I thought that chapter was pretty good. Less eventful than the prior one, but sets up this next chapter coming up here pretty nice.
It's a brilliant.
I really
filler.
like.
We always have filler chapters, and it was a great one. We got a little bit of extra information, which is nice. A little few funny bits, but in general, yeah, sure. We just had a brilliant chapter. We would do a filler chapter, that's fine, and then luckily we get a pretty good follow-up chapter as well. So I can't.
I like the moments with Lan and Rand one-on-one. The father-son relationship building is good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was you saying it wasn't a filler chapter, Lou?
It didn't feel fillery to me. It didn't feel fillery. Like in some cases, you could tell, like, oh, you could tell this was just some filler shit.
Okay, real quickly, what happened in that chapter? Yeah, that's what happens in all of the filler chapters. That's why the book's so good. What happened in that chapter?
This chapter, but it was also like the same way they did with the show. And I didn't see the episode as well. You invited during the conversation between the Amelin seat and fucking Moraine. The extra was them trying to heal Matt, which was never done properly. So it doesn't come off like that. And then the fact that, oh, they stole the dagger. Oh, he needs to go find a dagger or he'll be dead in a month. Like,
yeah, we're back to MacGuffin chasing.
Yeah, I just didn't find it filler-y-ish. So,
there was enough to keep you going. Like Annie mentioned, there was a good one-on-one with Lan and Rand. There was comic beats throughout. We got, in my opinion, now I think Perrin and Rand are friends, and Matt is kind of both of their friends. Do you know what I mean? Like, even later on, Ekul, we'll get more into this discussion. I think Perrin and Rand were more besties than Matt and Perrin or Matt and Rand. I think those two were closer because they had this interaction here in this chapter. Made me feel that a little more, where Rand actually hurt Perrin, whereas I think Matt is like, well, all right, well, fuck you then. You know, like, where Perrin is like, well, we can still be friends, right? And no, we can't be friends. Well, fuck you then. You know, like there's more to it, in my opinion.
Now, could Robert Jordan
which
have
was another
shaved
nice
about
takeaway.
15 minutes off this chapter? Sure.
Maybe. Again, with the descriptions, though, you know, walls, tapestries, lighting,
It's
people's
his thing.
clothes.
It's literally his thing. You're gonna find that in every book, every chapter. Like, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Same
I
thing with
guess
the Conan the
I didn't
Barbarian
find
series. He
it a
does.
filler. That was so good as well. I picked that up ages ago. That was really good. But the fact that you're disagreeing that as a filler chapter gives me faith a little bit there, Lou, because I enjoyed all of the filler chapters because of the extra information. But yeah, fuck off, Mammy. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, moving on. Chapter 8, Dragon Reborn. That's not the title of this book. This book is called The Great Hunt. The next book is called The Dragon Reborn. What's going on here? Lan is escorting a nervous Rand to go see the Armelin. Rand makes notice that there's no evidence of the night before. All the dead bodies are cleaned up. All the dead Trollocs are cleaned up. But everybody's still kind of nervous. There's tension in the hallway. Kids are still kind of playing in the corner, but they got, you know, they're a little weary. People still are moving about, doing their jobs, but they got their head on a swivel kind of thing. Keep your eyes open. Lan, as they round a corner, or about to round a corner, Lan shouts at Rand, "Cat crosses the courtyard." Another thing that I like about the books that kind of gets peppered out. And immediately Rand is trained, so he snaps into this style of walking that's more of a saunter. You're relaxing your body, and you're moving more with a flow instead of a rigid march. And they round the corner in time. They make their way onto the women's quarters. As they're going through the hallways, people are kind of noticing him. Rand is praying that they get turned away because they're wearing swords, and Rand now knows that there's not supposed to be weapons in the women's quarters, let alone in front of the Armelin seat. And contemplates on what Perrin had said. Are they being all three looked for? It doesn't matter. I got to get away from them because I'll kill them with the power. He's worried that he's going to hurt his friends and family. And so there is an assessment. They get permission to get into the women's apartments. As soon as they walk in, of course, the women who let him in are disgusted with what's going on. Ugh, and swords and all this. And all the other women are like, oh, you know, as they're walking through they're all murmuring behind him. But he has an escort from two ladies, so it's okay. It's not like they're just walking through blatantly. And then they arrive at the Armelin seat store. They're greeted by the keeper of the Chronicles, and there's two other sisters there. A little bit of banter with Lan from the keeper, where she says, "Oh, is this what you done with Rand here?" And he's like, "He's a man. Don't you worry." Lan backs him up here, I think, you know, and Rand is now so nervous he's wondering if he can sweat from the inside. Like, it's not coming out of his skin, but he's worried. He's so sweaty, it's sweating from. Oh God, I'm so nervous. So as Lan is trying to defend her, he's a man. He's grown up. Don't you worry. Rand introduces himself. "I'm Randolph Thor from the Two Rivers." Blah 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 blah. And Lan backing him up. "We're men." But Lyanna is surprised at Rand's formal thing. You have gotten a hold of him, haven't you? Look at you. You know, just like they know what Lan's doing.
At Lan and Moraine, it's like, ugh, you guys and your ways.
Yes, both of them. Yes, exactly. Because we just saw Lan setting this up. Lan knows what he's doing with Rand here, and he knows it's fucking with them that Rand is being so formal, and it's great in my opinion. So Rand is given permission to enter to go see the Armelin, but Lan is stopped. "Nope, not you, buddy. Don't worry, your lion cub will be safe in that room, I promise you." Like, they are digging back and forth. Like, they know Lan is taking Rand under his wing. They don't really explicitly say it, but they can see it. You know, like, he's making a little land for himself. He doesn't have an heir or a son of his own, so I think he's kind of like building Rand up a bit, and I enjoy it. Rand also makes his formal introduction to the armament seat, Swan Sanche, who is also amused. You know, and Rand is like, would she gentle me? Moraine? Like, you know, would they hurt me while I'm in here? Swan says, oh, look at you in your formal self. Have a seat, young boy. She calls him boy like 3 times. By your leave, mother, I'll stand. The watch is not over. So Lan's gotten to you, has he? You know, basically. And Moraine says, yes, Lan has gotten to him. He's been training all the boys, but has gotten to Rand specifically because he carries a sword. Rand's got a little connection to him. It's my father's sword, and Rand is helping me with my father's sword. And immediately it's pointed out to us, and this happens a lot too, another one of my favorite tropes in the book. All 3 women are talking right over Rand's head. Like they are just having a conversation about him in front of him, like he's not even there. And so Swan checks with him what the story is of Rand so far. It's his papa's sword, because she remarks on the hair mark blade. My dad gave this to me. You know, Lan has been helping him. And Swan wants the sword checked, and he's like, nobody's taking this sword away from me. It's my father's sword. And, you know, oh, there is a little fire in you, eh, boy?
I'm going to bounce before we get too far into it. I don't want to interrupt too far.
Gotcha, boss.
Okay, have fun, guys. Catch you later.
Thanks so
Half
much.
an hour chewing the shit. Echo Pineapple's channel. Go check him out. He will be
After
chewing
this
some
show.
shits.
Mm-hmm. Take care, guys.
Any
Bye.
guests? Just you and Roach?
And NJ Ranger 201.
Oh, New Jersey Ranger. Oh,
Oh,
the handsome Dabblebird's darling. Well, speaking
the
of,
one.
somebody's going to try to marry him off.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boss.
See you later.
Have a good one. We will see you at Echo Pineapple. Go follow on Twitter with a 3 as the E in the end. And link in the description for the YouTube channel if you want to go over there and head out and watch him in about 30 minutes or so. Hopefully we wrap the rest of this chapter up before then.
No, stay here, finish
speaking
it,
of-
enjoy it, and then come afterwards. It'll be fine. Take care. See ya.
Oh, it's come afterwards. That's right.
See what you did there.
So tells Rand that Matt and Perrin are going to go get the dagger. It's his choice to leave with Matt and Perrin or not. Of course, Rand is going to go. He thinks on it, but yes, he's going to go. But he's wondering, though, are they pushing him around? Are the Aes Sedai trying to pull his strings, or is it the Patter trying to pull his strings?
Column
But
A,
he
column
feels
B.
that he can't. It is, I think, the same. It's a little of both. Like, Moraine is trying to goad him and has a plan, and we saw that it doesn't always work. So even if Rand is trying to plan something out, it might not even work for him.
But is it though? Because you think about it, they did plan for Rand to leave with Matt and Perrin at the beginning of all this shit. But now that the dagger's been stolen, Matt has to definitely go on this quest to go get his shit back, unless he's going to die in, let's just say, 2 months. Let's give him 60 days. So that's how I felt like his whole Rand is just a bitch with this whole fucking scenario. Like, are you pushing me, or is this the wheel pattern? Like, yo, dude, your boy's dagger was stolen. Your boy has to go on this quest. You want to join him. We know how close you are. Just look at it for what it actually is. We didn't plan on the dagger being stolen, but it got stolen. Like,
Or the horn.
and the horn. Like, remember, the plan was the horn to be transported. So, hey, well, now both are stolen. You got to go get both, buddy. Here's where we'll meet you, though. It's like, if that part was said, then you could say it's a plan. But no, your boy shit stolen. And on top of that, they stole the fucking horn. Go on this quest with fucking Ishtar over here and become a man for once and quit being a whiny bitch.
Well, and he does. He answers right away. You know, he says, "I'll go with Ingtar, mother." You know, like he's gonna do that. And then Swan mentions to him, like, "Look, I know you can channel." He's like, "She knows." Oh shit! It's one thing that you know she knows. It's another thing to hear her say it back to your face that she knows. I know it's Ingtar. Well, I've given
Chris,
up on correcting.
Just go with it, buddy. Just go with it. It'll save you a lot of trouble.
Rand's like, I won't channel. I promise. I'm not going to do it. I don't even want to touch the source and blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to go away and hide and not hurt anybody. Just leave me alone. And Swan says to him, well, you better fucking learn to control it because if you don't, you're going to kill yourself. Like same with how the women have to learn to control their power. Men have to as well. Otherwise it can burn you out. It can kill you. You can hurt other people. You don't know what's going to happen. And so Rand's like, how am I supposed to learn? Because Moraine already told me,
A little sidebar.
anybody that can teach me is 3,000 years dead. And I just want to stop. I just want to stop doing it. And Moraine tries to explain yet again about the fish teaching birds to fly and blah, blah, blah. Varen interrupts and says that's a stupid analogy because there's fish that fly and birds that swim. Never liked it. But it's trying to make the
What do you
point,
wanna say,
though, that
Luke?
it's... Oh, I'm sorry.
This- This part that we're recapping, same thing in the show.
Okay, so it does play out this way.
It plays out in the show as well. Just that's just a little sidebar. And now to come to think about it, the next scene I think plays out in the show as well, just in a different format. They had already did the deed quite a few times. So
Right, understandable. I know exactly where you're going.
But it was boring there as it was here.
Fair. So while Moraine is trying to explain yet again, and Varen interrupting about the analogy, Rand is off kilter. So to gain a little control and get control of his emotions, he seeks the void yet again. And that does help calm him down. And then so now he can think a little straighter because his emotions are under control. He questions, why are you doing this? You know I can channel and you're going to let me run free in the world. You know I'm dangerous, right? You know this is something that is potentially not okay. And Swan doubles the fuck down. I'm letting you do this because I believe you are the Dragon Reborn. I'm telling you to your face, you are him. You are the one. I'm him.
And he
No,
shit
you're him.
in his pants.
Basically, it is mentioned that like when he mentioned Shaitan and the world lurched and he felt a weird way and it kind of dizzied him. This literally almost knocked him to his knees physically. He's like, fuck, man, am I there? So there are moments that are being pointed out where a direction changed. When he named the Dark One, something happened and a direction changed that set the pattern in this path. When Swan named him the dragon to his face, something happened here where he now knows definitively in his heart. He can't even deny it to himself because now other people are feeling it. He fights that. He's like, I'm not going to be an Aes Sedai false dragon. I'm no Mirian Stonebow or Gwyer Alamon or any of the other false dragons that you guys have been puppeted and pulling strings and blah, 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 blah. Who the fuck is telling you all this? We don't do that. False dragon on... How did you come about all the... Moraine? Tom Maryland told me, you bitch. Like, he's getting... Rand's getting a bit upset. Tom Maryland explained to him to be weary of Red Sisters, or any Aes Sedai for that matter, because they do like to do that. And we are now seeing factual evidence of it in the books. You know, that they are being manipulated, these three boys. They are being goaded, if not directly by Aes Sedai, by their actions and secondary ripple effects from that. Rand Sperg's out. Wait. More lore drop from Moraine. She goes through. He was born on the slopes of Dragonmount. I found you there. We got the weird prophecy thing, I think, comes up here. Yeah, just in a few moments. And go ahead, Luke.
So this passage that now we're getting into, this is told, I want to say in season 3 without Rand. Like it's done in a flashback sequence. Like everything that we're going to get into. And I found it fascinating. Like that it's done here. Because like when I shared the news with you, Sperg, how fucking season 3 was books 3 and parts of book 4. It's like where they place some of this shit in this show is
it does come back from earlier.
It's so weird. It's like, yo, I'm hearing about this now, but they don't touch on this until like season 3 in like a flashback, which I'm cool with the flashback, but it's like it's so out of sequence. But again, that's why it makes the book so much better.
It makes sense here because she's trying to convince Rand of who he is. And so she drops her entire start from when she was a novice with Swan, and the then Armelin seat was with her keeper, who literally stands up and says, "He is born. He's come again. The dragon is reborn." Literally. And basically
and then
points
dies.
in the direction. Yeah, and falls over dead.
So the only three people that know that he has been reborn are the former Amelin seat, the current one, and Moraine.
Right. Well, and now Varen, because she sussed it out.
But like, I mean, at the time, those were the only three people, and they knew where, but they weren't close enough to go get the kid. So they're like, "Oh shit, let's go."
What they did with the Amelin seat, they kind of made her blind. I guess that's what helped her foresee the future or could see things like that, like because she couldn't really see well.
Okay,
they did with her
I see what they did there.
Yeah,
they dumped the character. The keeper was the one that made the prophecy in the book, and the Armelin seat was still there, and then charged Moraine and Swan with finding the now known about Dragon Reborn, because the then Armelin seat had the common sense foresight to keep it under wraps, because it's also mentioned to us that there's other people that would, not even Dark Friends or the Dark One himself, other people don't want him there. Like the Dragon Reborn means the end of the world at the cost of our own salvation. But it is all of that prophecy is dropped on us, and that both of them too have been searching for him for years. And it corroborates Tam's fever dreams from book 1. Like everything that Moraine is saying, Tam, we get a little bit of flashback from his perspective. The Aiel came over the wall, because there's a lot of lore drop here. Moraine explains again about King Layman's sin and the Tree of Life, and why the Aiel came over the wall to get payback from him, and why that war was the one that precipitated, by prophecy, the rebirth of the dragon. So literally, her life was pointed right at this most of the time anyway, because of where she was and who she's related to.
Now, I want to ask you, Sperg, was he a fighter? Because the show depicted him as a fighter. And
yes, he definitely was a soldier.
Okay, that's perfect. So the show did that part right.
Yeah, no, it's given to us.
They tell us about Tam right here. Yeah.
Yeah, but they talk about him, but the way, like, there's no fever dream for that portion of the show. Tam is hurt. Tam actually, did he get hurt? I don't remember in the show. I just remember them two going back to town, and the town was all ransacked.
Right.
But
in the book,
part of the flashback,
I remember pointing it out early. Well, when they go back to the farm, when they first go back, Rand and Tam go back to the farm, it's told to us by Robert Jordan that Tam makes a circuit around the farm. And that is specifically a word that I know when you walk the perimeter, that's your circuit. You know what I mean? Like,
gotcha.
So which we saw with the White Cloaks later. But yes. When they were talking about Rand getting his sword from his father, it's my father's sword. Nobody's going to take it from me. It's a heron marked blade, and it's a very ancient sword. And so how did Tam get it? And then Moraine says, well, I did research on Tam al-Thor. He was from the Two Rivers. He went to Ilion, blah, blah, blah. He worked his way into the ranks. And we got a little bit of his backstory of why he ended up where he ended up to find Rand, who was born of an Aiel woman, but found by Tam and then taken back to the Two Rivers. Born of certain blood, raised by the ancient blood, blah, 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 explains what the prophet, Tam's my father. Rand is totally spurging out through all of this, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
He's so like, that's my dad. And like Lan told him, it is your dad. Stop trying to be a bitch about it. And of course, Rand doesn't want to be controlled, and the Armelins, they explain to him, you were made for a purpose. You were born to save humanity. What is wrong with you? Do follow your destiny, bro. Literally, like we've been saying, stop being a bitch, man up, face it on your feet. Come on, man. You know that you got this huge burden and a hard life in front of you, and just running from it is making it worse, ain't it? Do you see that yet? He don't see it. He's torn though. You know what?
He's so intolerable.
Especially now. He's they tell him he's free to go. You can leave now, but like we said, you're going to leave with your friends because that's who you are. That's what you want to do. And he's upset that they know who he really is. And they believe it. And he doesn't believe it.
He doesn't want to believe it. He wants to be naive.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's one of two things to him. Either he is the prophesized Dragon Reborn, or he isn't, and these people are trying to fuck his life up.
Either way,
And
he's
both
not
of those
happy with
scare
it.
him. Yeah, exactly. So he must go follow his destiny. Rand departs. But before he does leave, he makes a point to say to the armlet seat, I'm not to be used. And then leaves. And they're just like, ugh, stupid child. And now we get another perspective shift just for a few seconds. Right before this whole scene closes out, we're back with Moraine. Seanchan is not happy. The armlet is not happy. We do what we must. I'm not happy about having to do what we did. And I'm not sure exactly what they mean there, like manipulating Rand, or do they explicitly mean letting him off a leash and go do things in the world? Because Seanchan says, God help us when he learns how to channel. And that kind of closes that scene where Rand finally has his interaction with the Armelin seat. Any thoughts and things on that right at the end there? The interaction with that whole thing?
I think it's fucking fantastic. This is exactly what I think Rand needs as a character, and yet he's still like being insubordinate. Like along in this they're like, it doesn't belittle an anchor to be used to, hold a boat. You're built for a purpose, and it's not insulting to you to fulfill it. And
Okay.
And he's still just like, no. He's just. I'm hoping that eventually he becomes likable, because Rand sucks.
I want to say, but also Light Blinded just caught up with us, and he's bringing up where I just mentioned. It's episode 7 of season 1. We see the birth of the dragon. That fight sequence.
Yeah, that cold open.
It was well done. Yeah. And
I did watch
that. What else? Caught up. Y'all talking really slow now.
I mean, it's hard to cover all this in a 2-hour show, and time constraints are,
it's
really time makes
you gotta
us all.
Think. When you got 3 hours in fucking chapters, like,
there's a lot to talk about.
There is, and then again, like I said, the next part I feel like is something we could gloss over.
And here we are to the part that Lou did not care for. I found it to be a nice little romantic scene. It is necessary, in my opinion, because of what it's setting up and for who. You can't just you got to have something going on. You just can't have everybody running around and, like you said, where's Loyal Ben? We don't know what he's doing. He could be carousing.
I agree. It's not necessary, but this is a great scene, and it's been leading up to the entire first book. So it's nice that and at the very beginning of this book, but we couldn't go into it. So now we're actually getting, I wouldn't say closure, but like a really nice point. And I think the gesture is sweet. Land's like, I can't be what you want me to be, but I'm still gonna try. I didn't say I'm not into you. I'm just, I
just can't be your warder.
Just letting you know, there's a fuck ton of baggage. That's what
he's trying to make the point of. It's not like he has 5 kids by 6 mamas. He's literally destined to probably die. Like, listen, I am a warrior first. And widow clothes aren't a good wedding present, basically, is what he has been saying. So Nynaeve, that's where the perspective we start out with. The part that is kind of important is that she feels a storm coming, but it's not a storm. A storm that's not a storm. It's really bothering her. It feels very wrong. It's off in the distance. She's not sure what it is. But it means something. And then she sees Rand, and like, well, this is something that doesn't mean anything must mean something attached to him. Like, she's smart enough to know that weird shit's going on with the weather, and weird shit's going on with that guy. He might be the Dragon Reborn. Let's go try to get a nice conversation with Rand. She wants to find out what the Armelin had said to him and treated him, what was really going on there.
She's just nosy.
Very much so. She's the wisdom, isn't she? And that's right where we're heading. You know, where did Rand go? She was following him. He got away from her. You know, he's walked away quickly and she couldn't keep up. But while she's trying to chase Rand down, she's conflicted about being the wisdom. Are you still the wisdom in Mansfield? You put some other broad in charge and you haven't been back there in months. Well, she's fine and blah, blah, blah. Like, she's reasoning she's trying to justify to herself because she's feeling like she abandoned her hometown for all of this.
I mean, she literally did. She went to chase after 3 people and left her entire town behind. Like, her goal was noble, but inherently selfish from the get-go. She had a bigger responsibility and more importance, especially after Winter Night and all of that. She'd probably be a lot more useful helping everyone in town and rebuilding and planning like that. Instead, she's like, see ya. The first real opportunity she got, too, she also left. So I get this feeling of guilt that she has, and it's rightfully placed on her because she just left.
Yes, and that's it. And she feels guilty about leaving in such a fashion because, yeah, she did. She basically abandoned the entire town to try to get these 4 people back, which she's failing miserably at, if you haven't noticed. I'm pretty sure we all noticed. So, and yeah, so, again, she's trying to convince herself that she didn't do that. I am the wisdom of 2 rivers, and she says it out loud, and there's like a livery guy carrying a tray as he's going past, like, okay, yeah, sure you are. Bye. Leave me alone, you crazy bitch. You know, like, he just like bows and scrapes and gets away. And then she looks around to see if anybody else notices her strange outburst here, because she has to say it out loud to convince herself. It's odd. But then,
bam, she turns around and sees Moraine.
And there's Lan. Lan is standing leaning up against the wall, looking forlorn out of a arrow slit window down in a courtyard of people getting ready to leave. He's just standing there, being emo Lan. This is the only time he looks kind of like, you know, in that way. Every other time he's been pretty, like with Rand, he's straightforward. Get up, sheep herder, you wool-headed idiot. You know, like he's very forceful and matter of fact with everybody else, except when he's around Nynaeve, which we get into this nice sappy. He's extremely nervous, upset that she can't even sneak up on him. She's acting like a goose. She says, which I find, you're acting like a goose. And if you were back in the 2 rivers, you'd give somebody a drink to make them get upset. Like, she would literally give somebody something to make them feel worse because they're acting like a nitwit. And she tries to convince herself that she doesn't like Landis. He's too tall and too stone-faced, and he doesn't even have a sense of humor.
Sure.
Exactly. Everybody knows everybody knows women love short men. Right? She likes him, and she's trying to not like him, but, you know, so she goes to walk away and not even interact with the guy, and then Lan stops her. He's like, Nynaeve. Like, he doesn't even turn around from looking away from the window. He just knows she's there because that's just who he is. He's Lan. He's the super guy.
So he's short?
He's not short. He's too tall. No, like, that's the problem. Like,
I was going to say
women aren't into short guys. That's like a trope. If you're like under 6 feet and make less than $150K a year, don't even bother. Swipe left or whatever. So that's what she's trying to do to Lan. It's like, he is a king, though. I mean, of a land that doesn't exist, but still, he's a king. What? So she is, you know, I'm looking for Rand. Have you seen him? And he's upset because he can't be the guy, like Annie pointed out, the man that he wants to be for her. He's got other obligations, a fuck ton of baggage, quote unquote. but gives her this huge signet ring.
I don't like. That's just an excuse. His only baggage is he's tied to Moraine, and right now we're heading to the same direction. We can make this work. We'll be at the tower. I don't know for how long. You know, I could sneak into your room in the middle of the night, make sweet love to you. Like, he could do all these things on the trip. Like, quit with the whole baggage bullshit. I hate that fucking crap. Oh, there's so much baggage between us. No, make it work if you really want each other.
He's trying to. That's why he gave her the ring and it's like, hey, I still got my duty and stuff like that, but if you call, I will come. Like, you know, like
Right where we're going.
But she's the stupid one, bro. Let's just be honest. She's the fucking stupid one. Like most typical young ladies.
Well, that's just it. Even though she likes him, she's still
playing hard to
right
get.
At this moment, she's upset because, like we mentioned just a moment ago, she's under the impression that he, denied her. But he didn't. And he's just like, look, I can't. I'm telling you, I can't be with you because I got all these other obligations. And like you said, Lou, she's on the ride with these obligations too. It can work out. Well, okay, if it's going to work out, take my ring. And Lan explains it's the Ring of Kings. If you show it around the borderlands, people will help you. That's right. Great health insurance, but a prior condition. That's really an apt modern way to put it. Because this ring will help him out. Anybody in the borderlands will help him. If you send me the ring, I will come in a moment's notice. Even if you don't send the ring and just a stamp that I know it's from you. If you send me, I will be there.
Nice.
Whatever you need, I will be there. As long as I can be there, I will. And she
As long
tries
as I
to
ain't
refuse the
dead.
ring. I know. But she tries to refuse it. And he's like, well, I don't want it either. It's garbage to me. I don't need it. And it might actually help you out. So just hang on to it or throw it the fuck away. What do I care? It's worthless. And so now he's being a bit of a jerk too.
Throwing it back in her face.
Well, but she keeps the ring and he stalks off a little bit. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta go take care of Moraine and some other things. And so she lets him off. And she calls herself a fool. You fool, woman, being in love. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird, dramatic scene, but it's kind of funny. And before she leaves, she turns around and Moraine's right behind her. Bam! How long you been standing there, you bitch? Only long enough to not hear anything of important. Lan's going to pack, and you need to go pack too. And there's a nice exchange here. Moraine's like telling Nynaeve to go see to your packing. He questions Moraine about what the Armelin and her were doing with Rand alone in the room. Is Rand okay? And Moraine makes the point to say, yes, we saw Rand, but we're going to see all three, Rand, Mat, and Perrin. They're all three Ta'Veren, blah, blah, blah. This is a weird exchange because Nynaeve definitely knows that Rand can channel, but it seems like Moraine's trying to make it not so pointed at Rand, even though Nynaeve thinks it is, and rightfully so. Nynaeve and Moraine have further talk on, and Moraine points out that they're all three grown men. They don't need to be on their apron strings. They'll be fine traveling from here to Ilion. Blah, blah, blah. You're going to the White Tower, right? So you can learn how to channel and then, fuck with me, right? Right? That's what you're going to do? I know you want to get a little bit of revenge on me. Why don't you? And Nynaeve wants to punch Moraine
What a
in
good
the face
bait.
for that, basically. Yeah, like, Moraine's definitely fucking with Nynaeve here and pushing her in the direction that Nynaeve needs to go in. Nynaeve, she's pulling my strings, this bitch, but yeah, I'm gonna fucking let her do it for now. For now, she can get away with it. And that's why she's sus of her, because she thinks she's pulling Rand's strings, and Rand thinks he's getting his strings pulled, and so everybody's all worried about who's doing what to whom. And,
Here, I can see Moraine pulling her strings. With the whole Rand sequence, it's like, no, Rand, your boy got his shit stolen. He needs his shit back, or he going to
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Rand he's conflicted because he doesn't know if the Aes Sedai are pulling his strings, because circumstance happens to be pushing him in the same direction that the Aes Sedai want him to go in anyway. So, like, did they set that up? Who knows? No, we know that it didn't happen, that there are actual dark friends and things it happens to be very circumstantial and coincidental. And, Nynaeve accuses Moraine of pulling strings and plotting. And you gotta fix your camera. What
Thank
plot?
you.
We're not plotting. And Moraine explains to Nynaeve that Rand is what he is. He's the Dragon Reborn. Like, you need to either believe it and get on board or go do your own shit.
Yeah, because
Nynaeve
we're
can
all
see the
getting
pickle.
tired of it.
Exactly. Well, but Nynaeve also sees the pickle that Rand is in. If he is the Dragon Reborn, he has to be let out, and there's prophecy that has to be fulfilled. There's things that have to happen in order for him to actually be fully named the dragon in the eyes of the rest of the world. They know it because they've been seeing it happen for the last 20, 25 years. So Nynaeve's kind of getting it. Rand is in big trouble. She wants to help him, but she also wants to get a revenge on Moraine. So she is going to end up at the White Tower with Egwene. They got to learn. I am going to learn to channel, and I'll show her. So that was that bit of a
We're going to
sequence.
have channel off.
Exactly. So Lou's got an opinion, I'm guessing, of take it or leave it. It was kind of nice. Not too great, not too, it could have been moved around or cut shorter a little bit maybe, but does show that Nynaeve cares about Rand very much, does care about Rand very much, and hates Moraine very much.
She hates all Aes Sedai.
Yeah, all of them do. Everybody in the Two Rivers are very anti-Aes Sedai, even though we're in the borderlands and it's quite
just
the
because
opposite.
of propaganda.
And yes, it is much of that rumor.
Like, from experience, in person, it has been nothing but nice, beneficial, helpful, polite, like even Elida, like literally even potential Aes Sedai, everyone involved has been nothing but nice to Rand, and he's like, fuck you bitches, you're tricking me.
He's so paranoid. He's not even smoking weed. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, if Tam was here, Tam would kick him in so hard in the ass, it would be like, he'd be like, all right, I'm sorry, Dad. I am acting slightly petulant.
Let me ask you this. Do we think he's really this paranoid because of the Gleeman stories and how he was in his ear telling him, be weary of the Aes Sedai? They may be telling you the truth, but they always spin the truth. Like,
right.
Tom really didn't help this situation here.
No, but he wasn't lying at all either.
And nor was Lan.
But again, fuck you, Tom Maryland. That's why you're dead, bitch.
I mean, yeah, well, although it was paranoid advice, it wasn't necessarily bad advice either, even though it's not really working out in his favor yet. And yes, it is very much inconvenient to Nynaeve's plan to bring Rand back to Emond's Field and bring all the boys home if he is, in fact, the Dragon Reborn. It's not a good thing. To
that point, the three of them have said we don't want to go back home because they know they can't go back home. So her mission to get them back home should have been, all right, you guys don't want to go back home. Either I leave or I stay with Shaw. Like, let's quit the notion of we're going back fucking home.
Yeah, that's well over. That should have been done in their mind by the end of that first book. They were lamenting it and wanting to get back home almost throughout that entire book. And Rand is convinced that he can't go back home. He just wants to hide out in the woods on his own, away from everybody, so he doesn't kill any of his friends or family.
Except he doesn't. Otherwise, he would have fucking gone and done it.
Exactly.
That's why. Is it destiny holding him there? Like, he had his hand on the door. He tried to get out the door. He physically couldn't pull himself out.
He had a whole
a
month between the first book and this book. And once he decided, like I said, he had so many opportunities. If he wanted to go do that,
my friends, I'm not leaving before Matt.
Fuck my friends. Oh man, but actually I don't want to leave still. No, I'm sorry. I told my friends I hate them. Damn it.
So here's the difference between the show and the book. That motherfucker dipped in the show. He was gone. He in another town doing extracurricular activities with a certain character who shall not be named.
And that's kind of neat for the show. You know, it is giving Rand a little bit of what he wants and probably showing that it isn't as good as he thinks it is, which we do get that here in the book series. You know, you think you're gonna do something, but it ain't gonna work out. It ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go, Nickel. And that's gonna be Rand's mantra here for a long time coming up. So after the Moraine and Nynaeve conversation, we get yet another perspective shift, closing out this hour-long chapter. Hopefully getting ready to close out this show. Egwene is packing up her beautiful dresses that was given to her by Lady Amalisa. She thinks of her training in the White Tower, and then Nynaeve finds her because they were sharing a room. They're discussing about leaving, and Nynaeve is very happy to have a private bathroom back in the White Tower. When they get there, hopefully it's a private bathroom. No, all of these guys do not like everybody from the Two Rivers is not used to a public bathroom and people just kind of walking in butt ass naked. And I think it was bothering him. Egwene notices
probably.
that. Right. I would be.
Yeah, they never dealt with locker room culture.
That right there. That's exactly where I was going. It's a locker room thing for us gents. You know, you got to shower after gym because you don't want to go through the rest of the day all sweaty balls. Egwene notices that Nynaeve has love in the air. Like it's kind of surrounding her. She knows that she's in love with Lan, and
But she won't admit it to herself.
right. But Egwene makes a comment and calls Nynaeve the Wisdom, and Nynaeve goes out of her way to make the point, don't call me the Wisdom anymore, because we're both grown women out here in the world now, and it just seems a little silly if you refer to me as your Wisdom anymore. Further, establishing that Egwene and Nynaeve are now more on equal terms, but distancing herself from the Two Rivers and her former title as the Wisdom of that village that she was in.
Nynaeve is slowly growing up.
Very slow, painfully so. Lord Rand is looking for her, Egwene. So Nynaeve and Egwene are in the apartments, and they find out that Rand is outside. You know, he's literally shouting, "Egwene!" like try and get her attention. But one of the other women who was also in the apartments, you know, Rand's here looking for you, and he's making problems. Of course he is. You know, they both like, of course Rand's making trouble. Go see to it, Egwene. But Nynaeve was gonna go, but Egwene's like, let me talk to him alone, so that way she could teach him some manners, because he's forgotten them apparently. So as Egwene makes her way to Rand, who's outside in the front of the apartments, with Lord Ogilmar, who's trying to quell Rand a little bit, she feels a bit jealous because all the other ladies, she can hear them talking. Wow, Rand's kind of handsome. Do you know if anybody's going to marry him? Like, she hears like all the whispers in the women's hallways about how her betrothed is actually quite the catch. And it's also mentioned that Rand will be a good husband once he's trained.
Eventually.
Yes. 'Cause one of the ladies asks Egwene, like, are you going to marry him? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I'm just asking. Nobody's going to try to move in on your claim, but you're going to Tarvalin, and Aes Sedai rarely marry, and there's a lot of ladies here that are looking in his direction. She's kind of upset about that.
They want his sword.
And so Rand is actually at the front making trouble. Lord Ogilmar is there trying to explain to Rand, like, listen, you can't just go in there. And he's like, I didn't try to just go in there. I just want to talk to Elaine, and they won't even go tell Elaine that I want to talk to her. What's going on? Like, listen.
Who the hell is an Elaine? You mean Egwene?
Egwene, right? Egwene, I'm sorry. A different
You're
one.
pulling on me.
Elaine is the
changing
other
names.
character.
Yes. Daughter heir to the throne of Andor.
Mm-hmm.
The sister slut.
So, Ogilmar is like, listen, no matter how strange the rules are here, women run shit, and you're going to have to listen to it. If you want to talk to Egwene, you got to write a note, hand it to one of these ladies, and they'll give it to her in due time when they feel like it's. So understand, they run it, you don't. You just kind of got to sit back and take it, dude, because it's literally like they're sovereign unto themselves in these apartment rooms. Like, women are in control. The ladies control it. So it's Egwene shows up and she'll deal with him. The other women say, yeah, you deal with him. And they all stand around to watch her deal with him. And she notices that and she's like, let's go for a walk. So they walk away and they start murmuring behind Egwene and Rand because speculating and late girl talk.
If you don't know, girl, if you don't claim him, I will.
Exactly. That's what they're basically, they're all putting in a bid on who gets their shot at Prince Rand, who's leaving. So, we all know it's in vain anyway. So they start to catch up. Do you remember anything from last night? Blah, 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 that kind of stuff. He hasn't been gentled. He's not gentled. You know what I mean? Like, so why would he
Not
do
yet.
that? Right. Memories for Egwene are a bit fuzzy. She got hit in the head. Rand gives her, and I told you so. I told you Fane was trouble. And so Egwene is like, oh yeah, he was trouble. You think you know all of this? I'm in charge of your punishment right now. They expect me to punish you for all of the silly things that you've been doing. Egwene basically checks his behavior over the last couple days. Running through the apartments, you're upsetting people, blah, blah, blah. They expect me to box your ears and put you in your place. And he's like, you fucking sound like the wisdom now. And it's a bit disconcerting to Rand because she immediately does, start sounding like the authority figure that we know Nynaeve to be. But Rand explains to Egwene that he's not a puppet. I'm not here to be pulled and pushed and prodded by the Aes Sedai, you, Nynaeve, or anybody, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I know this.
I'm
going
man.
to Tar Valon. Yeah, I know. I'm a tough guy. I got it. I bring the world. You don't understand. I'm on my own. I'm a lone wolf. But Egwene wants to help this idiot wool-brained lummox for better or for worse. She will go to Tar Valon. She will become an Aes Sedai, but she won't gentle Rand. She won't let him become. She wants to fix him. Basically, we will stop this, or at least try to slow it any way possible. I will be here to help you. And Rand embraces her and hugs her. They make their goodbyes. He whispers in her ear, I love you, and walks away. Egwene starts crying and says to take care, you wool-headed lummox. Yeah, I know. I'm feeling emotional about it because it was a nice little moment. It was very sad because they do love each other, just not in the way that they think they do. It's more sibling now, I think. Egwene definitely was the one who moved on first. I think Rand is now starting to determine like that. Like he's being a bitch about it. He has to be on his own. He thinks that he has to handle it on his own.
Did she move on?
You tell me, Lou. What's your opinion? And then Annie, we'll get your opinions. Because
I don't think she's moved on. Will they end up being together? Maybe. For a little while. It won't be long because of the little things I know of Rand. Like, he definitely does care about her. I will say that much.
He does find her attractive. Like, to quote Annie yet again, he knows how to recognize good merchandise. He did compliment Nynaeve on her prettiness, even though he felt awkward about it, and she gave him a nice stare. What the fuck? Because it's weird coming from him, I suppose. Annie, what do you think about Egwene and Rand's little non-romance, the no-mance, as it were, if you will?
I'm tired of it. Because they don't know how to communicate and they don't know how to act. So, it's not even will they, won't they? It's just, are they?
Yes. Yeah. It's like, it's very much ambiguous, and it's like Blinded Fool mentions, Egwene's moving on to the White Tower and is probably scared of him being the dragon and knows that even if they were together, it's not going to work out well. Even if she has his babies, it's not going to work out well. Even if they ran away and hid in the woods, it's not going to work out well. So she needs to get some training. She wants to become a stronger Aes Sedai. She definitely wants to help him stay alive and does love him in some type of way. I just don't think she wants to bang him all the time now. Like, I think she's seen, it's not explicitly, I mean, Aram was one, but, she does have a bit of a roving eye herself. She's not, absolved of noticing a good-looking man.
I guess that's what the show really did different with these two. 'Cause like I said, their first encounter, they hooked up in the show.
And I
They've
think that
hooked
was
up
more or less for show stuff, you know?
maybe, or maybe it was the fact that the show they wanted to incorporate it to let them know that there is a love, but there's going to be something that's going to like pry them apart. Like
Mm.
they'll always love each other, but they know they can't really be together like that. Like
So
I don't
you're
know. It's
saying
weird
that
to
they
explain.
are in love with each other. It's just circumstances that is going to keep them apart.
Yeah, because like Light Blinded says here, he hasn't moved on. He may have a wandering eye, but in a relationship, a wandering eye isn't that much of a bad thing as long as you're not touching and all this
You can
other
heat the
stuff.
water up anywhere as long as it boils at home.
Yeah, because you remember, it kind of keeps relationships fresh and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
So I feel she loves him, but she also feels him being the dragon is a scary notion since they know he's the dragon or they assume he's the dragon because that's what they're being told. And like they've all heard little stories that male dragons go crazy and all this and that. So it's a balance. And then he's also going to train. The training is really to help her maybe tame him. But again, he's going to go out on his own and he's the man. And the man's going to do what man going to do eventually.
And in his
So-
case, go crazy and kill everybody around him.
Yeah.
Definitely not moved on. Had a touch of sarcasm. Yes, you wool-headed lummox. But she loves him, and there are many forms of love. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's lessening from a more intense romantic honeymoon style. I'm in love with this guy and we were betrothed to more or less like I need to help this guy because I care about him so much. It's more I love him so much that if anything bad happens to him, it's going to devastate me as well. Unfortunately, I feel that way about certain people that are in my life now. I don't want anything bad to happen to people that are around me because you do care. Yeah, and for selfish reasons in some of my cases, like I trauma dumped on you two earlier, right before we started the show. I've been better since then. I ranted for a minute and a half and I got it out and you guys listened and I appreciate that. You need people around you like that. And so
Yeah.
Egwene's attachment to him, yeah, maybe they are still in love, you know, and just are reconciling that they aren't going to be together, like you said, circumstantial. Annie?
I
You
don't
have anything?
Not about Egwene and Rand. Like I said, if
over it.
well, no, like I get it's fine, but like the book doesn't give them enough time for me as a reader to care about it. Like
Yeah. I can get behind
there
that.
isn't in all of the nights that been traveling together, the writer could have given them a night to like sit down and talk and, you know, just spend night doing this or go on a walk or it feels like they never have time together because the writer doesn't focus time on it. And then they expect me, the reader, to suddenly care about it in these situations where Rand is like, I want her, but I can't have her. And I'm like, I get it, but like the book doesn't set it up for me to care.
Well,
Yeah.
and in fact, we've been given the opposite, right? Like anytime Rand is witnessing Egwene, it's either when she was training with Moraine and he's spying on her and growing resentful, or having a bickering conversation. You know, like when they were traveling from the Two Rivers to Faldara. You know, anytime they did interact, especially early on, it was like, I'm supposed to be here, and you, because he's trying to tell her to go home. Like, who are you to tell me to go home? You know, so like it hasn't been romantic interactions between those two. Like you said, we're just kind of supposed to feel that because we know what romance and this betrothedness is supposed to feel like. Even
Lan
though,
and Nynaeve is much better portrayed than Rand and Egwene, other than just we like each other. That's all that's really been said. It's being said, not shown.
yes, and that's the other thing. It's being told to us. And this is, yep. All the characters have bad communication skills. And
So
it's going to continue. And that's kind of what's going on here. It's like they're not being honest with their feelings full on, and they do talk to each other. They might be thinking a certain way, but say it a certain way to the character. You know, like I love you. Like he said it to her a certain way, and it elicited a response. Whereas like it's not like, oh, I love you, and I'm leaving out the door.
like me and Light Blinded know in season 3 there's like stuff that goes on with these two characters and why it's going on. We won't say much more. I'm pretty sure it's going to play out like that in the book. It's just a matter of when we get there in the book, because the show is cherry picked from the book.
Yeah, it's kind of weird in a way, huh?
Yeah, so it's like
I do think that adding more romance in the show does help. This relationship, like this scene, would have been better set up in the show than it was here in the book. You know, like you mentioned it, Annie. It's not really even mentioned to us or given to us by the writer himself. Any alone time with Egwene and Rand. You know, there's been more alone time with him and the boys, more alone time with him and Lan, more alone time with him and Moraine and Swan than with him and just the woman he was supposed to marry, which is what we're told. And
you can't argue that there's not been time because they've been traveling together for months.
Months. At this point, it's at least 2.5, 3 months, you know? So, yeah,
and they
there's
haven't,
no excuse.
like, even on the road, they don't ride side by side with each other.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there could have been more conversations in the saddle about their future. There could have been more.
That could have been done.
Like I think you said, Annie, a walk in the woods where they just took a nice stroll and had an intimate moment, or maybe kissed each other then and it didn't work out. Like, you know what I mean? Like something else, something, or maybe it was even more passionate and they are even more intensely in love. And now this separation would be even more emotional, because it's more of a finality, because the title of the next chapter is Leave Takings. So we know that they're leaving next chapter and that they would be separating yet again. Good points all around. Thank you, Ekul, for being here. I think it's time to wrap it up. We can do our plugs. Annie first, Lou second. You're already on my channel. Like, subscribe, hit the like button, share it out, blah, 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 blah.
I would like to promote my video game podcast, What's This Game? It's going to be coming back soon. It's a video game review, dissection, kind of go from the beginning to end about a game in depth. The last episode went about 5 hours covering Undertale. You can search it up on YouTube. The next episode will be coming out covering Grounded, and then we'll be having some quick episodes covering Siphon Filter and eventually God of War.
Oh, yes. I saw Siphon Filter was on the schedule. God of War with Lou is also later on the schedule. I'm excited to see you play a PlayStation 1 game. I have no idea how this is going to go for you. Especially one that was kind of lauded.
Siphon Filter.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep, I'm going to be covering that with Tony from Hack the Movies.
Who?
Ooh.
Oh, Timmy from Smack the Movies. I know who you're talking about.
Timmy from Head.
I have no clue.
I know. It comes from the AVGN part of my internet culture history. He was one of the 4 guys that started helping James Rolfe produce the Angry Video Game Nerd shows, and then broke off and started doing his own Hack the Movies, which is between Tony at Hack the Movies and Red Letter Media. If you aren't watching either one of those shows to get your movie lore and opinions validated, you're missing out wholeheartedly. But back
I've
to
seen
it.
some Red Letter Media stuff through Cupcake.
It's good. It's good if you like, scathing criticisms. But real quick, yet again, at Insanity on Twitter. The link to the YouTube channel's down below. That's Annie's personal channel, but it also will help you get to the What's This Game channel as well.
And there's a playlist on my channel too with all the episodes.
Oh yeah, I am so stoked. Because I think one of the next ones is Grounded, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Lou, Belly Bros, when's the next one of those? Tomorrow morning?
Belly Bros tomorrow morning at 8:30. Myself, Kahuna, Cupcake. If Sperg wants to join us, he's more than welcome.
I'm awake.
If you were awake, like I said. If you're, like I said, if you're awake and you want to join, I'll shoot you a link. Actually, you already
Yay.
got the link. It's in that
Yeah,
link
yeah.
will work.
Gotcha.
So you're more than welcome to join, and you can find my channel in his description at Lou the God on Twitter. So there's that.
Yay. All right. Well, let's make our exits. Lou, I'll be sticking around a little bit afterwards to help you with your stuff. Annie, I'll be sticking around if you want to chit chat and set up maybe later plans to keep going with Grounded. Thank you guys for joining. Light Blind and Fool, as always. I'm so happy you're here. Chris Mack, chat lore master as well. Oh, so Mommy, thank you for hanging out. An early bird, Mommy is. She's up for this one, but falls asleep in the night watching Annie play video games. Thank you for the compliments, y'all. Thank you for showing up. Young Old Vibes was here. Thank you again, Ekul, and everybody else who stopped in the chat. I saw you, Mr. Deadfool. Thank you. And Quadfather can kiss my ass. Love you guys.
Exactly.
See you in the next one, right? Feel free to go away. Mic drop. What's another one? Get out of here. Go home. Go away. Shoo.
See you next time.
Love you guys. There you go. See you next.
We wear the footsteps of our fathers, the trail blazed by our mothers. They bought the land with their blood, Lord, long ago, long ago. Aiel, Ogiers, and audiobooks. Oh my. Oh, sing of my never. Oh, we feel the blood of Emma. Oh, cry for my never. Long ago, long ago, Aiel, Ogiers, and audiobooks. Oh my. Oh, we weep for the blood of Emma. Oh, cry for Manetheren. Long ago, long ago, Aiel, Ogiers, and audio.